to Chanel's Reality. I'm Chanel, and this is my reality.
Hey everybody, welcome to Chanel's Reality. I'm Chanel and this is my reality. So I just wanted to come on here for a few minutes. I've been making and baking stuff all day. I made some lasagna. I made an acai bowl that I can't ever seem to eat all of. And what is it? I made a banana pudding with homemade whipped cream. Yeah. I don't know who's gonna eat all this banana pudding that I made, but I made it. Anyway, I wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about some hot topics. One of the hot topics, I guess I would say, of the week would be Tyler Perry and him getting sued by whoever he's getting sued by. We're going to go over that a little bit. And then we're going to talk a little bit about, hang on one second. Then we're going to talk a little bit about who are my other topics? Oh, so Monique from the Real Housewives of Potomac, she is returning, allegedly. Everything on Chanel's Reality is alleged, it's in my opinion, and it is for entertainment purposes only, and that goes for the chat and the panelists, if I have panelists. And there was one other person. Oh, so Diddy, we're going to talk about a little bit about Diddy and his mama. Janice, I think is her name. Sorry, there's some granola from the acai bowl stuck up there. But at any rate, my little sister was supposed to give me, she's supposed to download us on the stuff going on with Diddy. But let me just see if she's still coming. This is so ghetto. Hey, I'm just letting you know. All right, anybody. Anyways, I'm going to play a little bit of some of the videos that I found interesting online about Tyler Perry. I feel like we should talk about Tyler Perry first. So let me see which one I like the best. Okay. Oh, hold on. I have to add it. Hold on one second. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna add him. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm about to play him because I love him. Go and like his channel as well. I put everything usually in the link below, not in the link, but in the description. All right, so let's see what he has to say. Make sure everybody can hear everything. I don't have anything on mute. Okay. So we're going to talk about Tyler Perry first.
So Tyler Perry is getting sued. Now, before we get into the details of why he's being sued, I want to give you a little bit of context on how it's possible for him to get sued in the first place. Okay. Now, this is a YouTube exclusive. Fun fact. This video is about to turn into a vertical format video, but I kind of wanted to bring back the long form horizontal videos like this. So I'm kind of making this little compromise. The goal is to have those vertical videos as YouTube shorts, like 3 minutes and under, and these horizontal. But before it started, he was already, you can skip to the timestamp below, but before it started, he was already accused of doing something he shouldn't have been doing. There were rumors floating around that Tyler Perry was pressuring people to watch Netflix with him forcibly. If you don't know what that means, look in the comments. Now, this is important because rumors are how these big cases get started in the first place. If you think about Diddy, rumors for years that, Diddy was doing Diddy things. Jay-Z, before his lawsuit, rumors, Jay-Z doing this, that, and the third. Bill Cosby, they were trying to start lawsuits against him for decades, but his image was too clean. If they just jump out and say Bill Cosby did this, it's just so out of nowhere. People be like, no, Bill Cosby would never do that. And your lawsuit's going to kind of fall by the wayside. So when the Me Too movement started and a comedian named Hannibal Buress came out and said, yo, Bill Cosby be wilding out. That was the spark to enable those lawsuits to happen, because rumors start floating around. People are like, Bill Cosby did what? Lawyers start looking into it a little more. Boom. Now, Tyler Perry always had a squeaky clean record until a man named Christian Keys came out and did not say Tyler Perry's name, but he came out with a live stream saying, yo, man, there's this dude in Hollywood that people look up to that may surprise you. That was a little inappropriate towards me, let's say. Again, did not name the celebrity. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, that could be anybody in Hollywood. But see, Christian Keys had ties with Tyler Perry. And Christian Keys also said something very important. He said, this person, this billionaire. Now, how many billionaires are there in Hollywood? You can count them on your fingers. So people assumed it was Tyler Perry. They asked Christian Keys afterwards. He said, I didn't say it was Tyler Perry. I didn't say nothing. So people thought that he got paid off or this, that, and the third. Regardless, it didn't matter. The rumor was sparked, and that's all was needed, right? In fact, in Tyler Perry's lawsuit today, the dude who's suing him, Derek Dixon, said he saw what Christian Keys said and thought, oh, that's exactly what's happening to me. Christian Keys must be talking about Tyler Perry. I'm finna come out.
What do you think?
Hi, I'm Nicole Hockley from Sandy Hook Promise. The shooter who murdered my son at...
We finna get it started. Now, all that being said, let's talk about the lawsuit today. And again, we're about to shift to this vertical format. So 3, 2, 1, boom. So Tyler Perry had a problem. Now, first things first, if you don't know Tyler Perry, you know Tyler Perry, very famous entertainment executive. He did the Medea movies. Anyway, meet Derek Dixon, a man who's suing Tyler Perry for $260 million. Now, he's suing Tyler Perry for something called quid pro quo. Listen closely. Quid pro quo basically means if you do something for me, I do something for you. But see, a lot of times it's not that simple because there's an unspoken flip side. If you don't do something for me, who knows what's going to happen to you? Now, let's get a little deeper into the story. Now, this is all alleged, so pretend I'm saying alleged in front of anything. Okay, so Derek Dixon said, look, he's working at a party, right, as event staff. Tyler Perry's at that party. He said, oh, who that? He goes up to Derek Dixon and said, hey, you want to be in some movies and stuff? Derek Dixon said, oh, man, this is my big break.
Let me give this trigger warning. For anyone who's been sexually assaulted is what I call it, molested, ARD, we know that word. This could be triggering because it's talking about sexual harassment and it's talking about alleged sexual harassment, alleged sexual assault. So you can dial 988. That's the worldwide, not worldwide, but nationwide. You can text it, you can dial it, and you will get a person on the other end that can help you if you are dealing with some sort of trauma. And if you are thinking about unaliving yourself or others, you can dial 988 and you can get there. So just want everybody to know that. And it's going to be scrolling at the bottom. So if you need the number again, it's 988. And there's always someone there that can speak to you about what you may be going through. All righty, let's get back to the show.
Tyler Perry must see something in me. Now, thing is, to the public, Tyler Perry is known as a really nice guy. So Derek Dixon is just automatically assuming that. So Tyler starts texting him like, hey, bro, like, you good? Like, what's going on? Derek said, what's going on with me, man? I just be chilling. Tyler Perry said, chilling in your new car. Look outside. Derek looks outside. Derek got a new car, courtesy of Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry said, matter of fact, you trying to act, right? Derek said, yeah. Tyler Perry said, come on my new show. Derek said, man, this dude is locked in. And suddenly, Tyler Perry start texting a little weird, like sending a bunch of texts, calling all the time. Derek like, damn, slow down, broski. And Tyler start coming on a little strong, start getting a little bit inappropriate. Derek said, okay, let me just ignore this. It's all gonna go away. Tyler said, hey, come to the crib. Derek said, what? Tyler said, what? You work as event staff, right? Derek said, yeah. Tyler said, yeah, come to the crib as event staff, bro. Come as event staff. So Derek comes to the crib. Everybody drinking, everybody having a good time. Derek drinking. Everybody leaves. Derek about to leave. Tyler says, no, you've been drinking. Derek says, yeah, that's true. Tyler says, you could just stay at my guest room. You good. So Derek goes into the guest room. He don't got no pajamas, so he wears his underclothes, goes to sleep. Somebody climbs in the bed next to him. Hello, it's Tyler Perry. And you ain't heard me say it started to get wicked yet. We just getting started. Tyler Perry started grabbing on bro. Derek gets up. He says, yo, chill out, man. I don't really do that. I don't do that. Tyler says, oh, my fault.
This is not funny.
Derek said,
making it funny though.
All right, bro. Tyler said, all right, bro, I'm gonna catch you. Tyler leaves. Tyler then texts Derek. This is the next day. Tyler says, look, bro, I got a new show for you. Now, here's where the stakes get raised. Right now, Derek has got a small part in one of Tyler's smaller shows. After this incident happens, Tyler says, look, I got a bigger show for you in a bigger show. Derek says, all right, I'll do it. So Derek Dixon gets a part on Tyler Perry's show called The Oval. The whole time, Tyler Perry's still texting him, saying, see, if my friends do stuff for me, I do stuff for them. Quid pro quo. Remember that. Now let's look at the flip side of quid pro quo. At the end of the season, Derek Dixon's character, who, side note, is a professional Netflix watcher who would do anything for money, that's his character gets, right? Derek says, yo, Tyler, my character's just gone like that. Tyler says, well, he's not gone just yet. Who knows? Next season, he could come back. But remember, I do things for people that do stuff for me. Mind you, whole time, Tyler Perry is texting Derek very inappropriate things. So Derek knew what he wanted. Derek said, Tyler, you tripping. Watch out. Tyler says, oh, perhaps I said too much. What if I give you another show, Derek? See, Derek had a show idea that he wanted to produce. Tyler Perry said, I could do that for you. Come to my house and we can discuss the finer details. And here's where things start to get wicked. Derek pulls up to Tyler Perry's crib. Tyler Perry said, okay, let's talk about us. Derek said, now let's talk about the show. You bugging. But Derek is saying this in a nice way, not my aggressive ass tone. Tyler's like, bro, come on. Like, why are you always trying to talk about show stuff? Derek says, you know what? It's getting late. Tyler says, all right, you're right. You can stay in the guest room again. Tyler Perry then suddenly grabs Derek and starts pulling things off, getting very aggressive. Derek is telling him, no, chill. Tyler keeps going. Derek says, you know what? Dang, I'm too hungry. Tyler says, all right, we can get some food. Tyler and Derek eat. Derek rushes to the guest room, tries to lock the door, but there's no lock. So Derek goes into the bathroom and locks the door. Derek goes home. Tyler Perry starts messaging him like, damn, we got pretty lit last night. Derek don't respond. Tyler probably at this point knows, oh, dang, I messed up. So people start messaging Derek saying, ooh, you just got a raise, man. You just got a raise. Your character coming back. We paying you so much more. Derek not responding. Tyler then says to Derek, look, I just started talks on your new show. Your new show is getting picked up. You want to start it or not? Derek says, damn, yeah, I do want to start the show. So he starts messaging Tyler back. Derek says his plan was to start the show, make the show get super popular, have enough power, so then he could snitch on Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry never starts the show, though. Derek is still playing his character in Tyler Perry's show, The Oval. He keeps asking Tyler, dude, when's my show starting? Tyler's avoiding the subject, but the whole time he's still being very inappropriate towards Derek. Eventually, Tyler says, look, Netflix not starting your show. So Derek says, okay, cool. I'm suing you. And here we are today. Now, usually how these things go, it's a battle of public opinion. What you think matters a lot. If you don't like Tyler Perry, you stop watching his shows. Tyler Perry loses a lot of money. So Derek and his lawyers release text messages of Tyler Perry basically supporting Derek's claim. Tyler Perry looks very aggressive. Tyler Perry's response to all this is, this is a scam. Tyler Perry basically saying, I'm rich, Derek knows I'm rich, Derek wants my money. So depending on what everybody thinks, if everybody's thinking, no, Tyler Perry did it, then Tyler Perry might settle with Derek and his lawyers, maybe give him $100 million, depending on how much evidence that Derek has. They might take it to trial, they might take a settlement. Who knows? We're just gonna have to wait and see. But at the end of the day, this is not a good look for Tyler Perry. But again, we wait, we see.
Hey, business owner, tired of wasting hours on scheduling, attendance, and payroll? Connecting's here to simplify all of that.
Uh-oh. Cancel. Okay. Let's remove. Hey, Carmen.
Hi, boo. Hi, boo. That's what
So on this live, we're going to talk a little bit about Tyler Perry, a little bit about Diddy and his mama in her wig, and then who was I say? Oh, then Potomac. You watched the Real Housewives of Potomac, right? With Giselle.
Yeah, but it's a new season.
It's coming. It hasn't come yet, so we're going to talk about that at the end.
Okay, so I have a question.
Hmm?
Was he just saying Tyler Perry was promising this boy a show?
That's what it sounded like he was saying. Like kind of stringing you along, you know, keep telling you you're going to get something, to kind of keep you, you know, involved.
Yeah, that's Rico.
Oh, is it?
That's Rico. That's coercion.
Oh,
By way of fraud.
okay. Well, go ahead, come through with the
sexual assault. That's what they got Diddy going through. These saying I caught the end, but that's exactly what Diddy is looking at. Like that's how Diddy's trial is going.
The only thing I would say, and I'm not an expert, I'm just definitely not, but the only thing I would say is you have to kind of prove some sort of criminal, what's the right word? Criminal organization. Criminal organization.
There has to be an enterprise, and the enterprise is Tyler Perry's Productions.
That's what I mean when I say that, and that's a good point. But what I'm saying is, so I guess he would have to be suing not only Tyler Perry, or for it to be RICO, not only Tyler Perry, but also him having some organization. That's what I meant by criminal organization. That's how they did the mob back in the day, because they could never get them on anything else. Right. So then I'm just saying, I don't know if what I heard it rises to the level of RICO, but you've been watching the trial more, so maybe it does. I'm not sure, to be honest. But if you're saying because he has an organization, Tyler Perry Enterprises or whatever it is, maybe that is enough for them.
He's been using that, but he can have a co-defendant in the RICO if it was anybody else's knowledge that he was doing these things.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's why I was saying criminal organization, because I feel like it has to be at least more than one person that's a part of the organization. So I guess that's where Tyler Perry Enterprises come in. Is that what you mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay, so what do you think about, because I know you didn't see the whole video, but he was giving kind of like a funny breakdown of it. He's a mess. I love him. What do you think about what he was saying about the Tyler Perry lawsuit with this young man? Because the young man is very handsome.
He is fine, but you know what's crazy?
What's crazy?
I haven't watched The Oval Office.
Oh, that's his show on Netflix, right?
Yeah. Okay, but The Oval was also on the OWN network. I'm not sure if that's where it still is, but it's been years. And that dude, I remember him, and he is so fun. Like I'd be wanting to lick his face and his stomach.
Oh, there's another white dude that's that damn fine. Hold on, let me see if I can find him. He is so fine. I can't think of his name though. Let's see. Brandy Glanville ex-husband. Eddie Ciberon. That's that mofo's name. He's so cute to me. I don't know if you could see it. If y'all could see it. Can you see him?
Oh,
he's
yeah, delicious face.
He's so damn handsome. I'm like, he could get it.
So you know what?
And twice on Sunday. Okay.
The only man I could say that just looked so, and I was so young, but that man, like I didn't even know what sex was or anything about having sex.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you remember Tyson Beckford.
Of course, the supermodel. Absolutely.
Girl, that is like the one man I can remember my entire life from the first time I seen him. I remember always wanting to know his name to the point where I finally found out his name. And then I went from him to Morris Chestnut.
Yeah.
But every time I see Tyson Beckford, it was like, dang, who do I want the most?
Let's see, I'm trying to find him now. Because they pulled up some
I
sort of
didn't
white.
learn Tyson Beckford's name until 50 Cent put him in his music video.
Why you want to bring up this white man? I don't know. Let's see. Let me take his last name out. Maybe I'm spelling his last
But
name.
you know, these stories about Tyler Perry has been going around same way like with Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's always been speculation. I can't put my finger on it because I haven't really looked into the Tyler Perry shit that much. I just read the AP article on it. But I do remember like years back. Oh, yes.
He could get it. Yep. Okay, carry on. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, girl. Something just happened to me when I looked at that picture. Okay.
You
Hold on, what was I saying? But yeah, I remember like long time ago, like it's been a few years, that somebody was saying something similar, like it was like an interview.
You mean
about Tyler Perry, that they were invited to his guest house or some shit. And like they were sexually assaulted by him.
Really?
But I remember also questioning, like, but it was a female, if I'm not mistaken, though.
Was it?
But I remember always thinking, like, is Tyler Perry? I remember, like, just recently, I didn't even know he had a son. I didn't know he ever got married. I'm like, huh?
He got married, but then
I don't know. I've always been skeptical of him because he makes some really good shit. But in all of his shit, women are being like done so dirty. Like women are being done wrong. The only one I can remember where a woman really just had one up, and you know what I'm saying, is on Why Did I Get Married, when Tasha burnt Marcus.
Yeah, I love Tasha, her twin, and Marcus, because I don't ever know who I'm saying, because you know she has a whole ass identical twin.
She got an identical twin. Yes,
I think it's so cool. And also,
yes, and
because how creepy is it to look at another human being that looks exactly like you? That's not creepy, or is it just me? Okay, anyway, carry on. What were you saying? Go ahead. Sorry.
And like, but yeah, he always like the way he have like it gets our attention and it be some good shit. But it's just like, damn, Tyler Perry, like your vision of how dirty a woman can get done. You know what I mean? And we don't know any stories about you and your exes or anything. We know the story about you being homeless and all this other shit. But give us more of how you come up with this shit, because this is shit women be facing it for real life. Like, where does this movie come from? Where, like, give me more, because I'm looking at you as like you in love with men because you always pick some sexy ass men. Your men be fine as fuck. Like you don't be put. Mr. Brown is worse as it getting. Mr. Brown, he kind of can get it from a few females too in real life. You know what I mean? Like, you be stay. He got an eye for some men.
He does.
I always been sus of him.
Another person that comes to mind when I think about, there's two other people that come to mind when I think about, they understand the assignment in terms of getting a good looking man. Is like, I love on Carrie Hilson's video, she always have a sexy ass man. She understands it. And the same thing with Toni Braxton. Toni Braxton never misses. But all these other people, they'll get what I feel like is more of like artistically handsome, like an untraditional handsome, but they get it wrong. But that damn oh my God, what is it? Toni Braxton and her videos. I'm like,
right, brown skin, popping your nose, just how to talk to me, just how I like. Hey, Tyson Beckford, come here. Tyson Beckford, get in here.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, that is interesting because I've never been a fan, to be completely honest with you. Never been a fan. I've never watched any play. And I know we used to watch, y'all used to watch them at home downstairs. I remember that. I never watched any play that he would do.
Yeah, all his shit.
I never watched not one of them. I was just like, because to me, no shade to y'all, but it's hard for me to watch anything that I feel like is super predictable. And I feel like Tyler Perry's, all of everything he's ever made, with the exception of, there's this movie he made called Something and Us. Is it The Family That Prays, I think it's something like that. That one is the only one where I was like, oh, okay, I thought I might know, but I had no idea. And to me, of all of his movies, that was the best one he ever made, because it wasn't about and nothing wrong with putting brown people on the screen. I love it, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody else does it really like that. Or they
That's
think
the one where the black lady and the white lady were best friends.
yeah. But usually with a quote unquote black movie, the big powerhouse studios don't really want to support it. So they'll put it in like smaller theaters and they'll move it out like almost in 2 weeks. And it's just like, y'all didn't even give us a chance to really get there, because we only make up 14% of the population. And so for them, it's all about the green and not necessarily the color, but that's just my opinion. But with Tyler Perry, his movies will make it to the big screen, but it's very predictable to me. It's like how you said, it's some woman, black woman that's typically struggling. Some dude did her wrong, treated her poorly. Now when he come up, he don't give a shit about her, you know, that type of thing. And so for me, I'm just kind of like, I already know what this is going to be. I want a movie that's going to make me like, oh shit, I need to think about this. You know, that's why I like thrillers and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I always wanted to support and always try to support anything pro-black or pro anybody of color. Let me just say that, because a lot of times we don't get represented in places like the movies and theaters and things of that nature. So I try to watch them anyways. You know what I mean? Even if I know it's going to be like, oh, it's so predictable. But a lot of people say the plays were a lot funnier than the movies or something like that. And I guess because it's like more like ad-libbed or something to that effect. And also, I feel like if you go to the actual arena to see something, it's a different experience. I've been to some like in Dubai and stuff like that, but not like here. I think maybe Stephen and I have been to maybe like 3. It's just a different vibe when you're there. It's kind of like you can watch a comedy on TV, but if you at the comedy show, it's a whole different experience than you would get, you know, type of thing. But at any rate, I remember the first time I probably even saw Tyler Perry anywhere. He was, I feel like, on Oprah Winfrey. And all of his shows, I feel like when she came up with OWN, the Oprah Winfrey Network, I feel like all his shows kind of went to the Oprah Winfrey Network intentionally to kind of like build her, even though Oprah's a whole, you know, beast in her own right. But I think it was my type of
the clique: Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, and Oprah.
Yeah. So, and that was a good place for him to start, you know, in my opinion. But seeing Tyler Perry on Oprah, he never gave me masculine man. He always gave might be in the closet. And shout out to all the people in the closet. Shout out to all the people out the closet, because I'm sure it can be easy trying to, if he is gay, which I've always thought maybe at least.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but just slightly. So I was saying that I've always been sus of him. Like, and that's only because of all the little shit in the air, like, you know, people speculating. But when I look at him, to be honest, I don't see gay. Like, I don't see gay. I look at him and I'm just be like, I start to wonder, like, why don't he have a wife? You know what I mean? Like, is it true? Things like that. Like, is that why he make these women you get treated so bad? It wasn't because that was my initial thought, like, oh, he never give me gay outside of the speculations, and then I would start looking, trying to see why would people say these things about him, because he not ugly when he, you know, he could be somebody, man.
Well, you know,
out of his riches, because with the money he got, he could be anybody, man. But
well, you know, I mean, I'm gonna let you have that.
I don't think he's an ugly man.
Oh, shit. Oh.
He not Akon or Tyson Beckford.
Over here. Let's see what the drip got to say. The drip child, look.
I just wanted to speak to y'all before I go live. Y'all doing y'all thing and everything. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to South Park Shorty nephew.
Shout out to South Park Shorty. I seen her walking by Crystal Springs the other day.
Man, while she was up there at the sitcom cutting up. Look, she needs to go get a job in the dispensary next door. Across the street, goddamn.
Y'all just
she had both of the new gas stations. I'm like, damn. I
don't even know who y'all talking about. Who are you talking about?
South Park Shorty got videos with Snoop, so she's famous.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea who this person is.
You wouldn't know.
You done seen her picture somewhere. I'm gonna show you.
Okay, you show me later. What are you going? What's your topic tonight, Mr. Drip?
R. Kelly, Diddy, and Fat Joe.
Oh, something happened.
Oh, Fat Joe. I need to go catch
Is
it.
he still alive or something bad happened to him? What's
Yeah, he's
Well, he part of a RICO.
happening? Really? Damn.
Almost some shit that Diddy did.
Oh.
So I got a question, Drip. Look.
Mm.
So look, you know Diddy trial is ending, right?
Mm-mm.
I don't come up to your panel. So I'm gonna ask you right here.
Why don't you come up to the panel though?
I don't ever come to your panel because it be look, you know, I don't know. Sometimes y'all be
I
into
mean, I ain't
y'all.
gonna let nobody fuck with you. I don't let
Oh no,
nobody fuck
ain't
with you
nobody
now.
gonna do that.
That's what I'm saying. So what you worried about?
Listen, so you know Diddy trial coming to an end. So now that that's coming to an end, they like setting up a alley hoop for the girl KK, his assistant, his main, like the one who run the shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They set up alley hoop to make her his co-defendant.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, all of a sudden Tyler Perry coming out, Fat Joe coming out. I wonder if they are, because the celebrities that's in the tapes, they keeping it like under wraps. They didn't put it out there, so they even watched the tapes and the celebrity shit. Only the jurors and the judge got to see this shit.
Right.
So I wonder if, because Salone Bella said too, Hollywood is finna flip.
She did.
Yeah.
Cat Williams told y'all that shit before. He say, man, this the year where everybody gonna get exposed.
Cat Williams said it.
Yeah, but this is the thing
I
though.
talked to a lady today who works for Jay-Z and Beyonce, and she gave me some shit. Matter of fact, she got my number. And I be seeing her every day at work, but I never knew she works for celebrities.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a lot of folks that be cousins and everything with them folks that you would just never know because they don't be wanting all that shit on them.
Nah, and she told me some shit like,
okay, don't say it. Well, I don't know. You ain't saying her name, so whatever. What did she tell you?
No, I would never say her name.
Say my name. Say my
I don't
name.
rock like that. But
No, you don't.
Jay-Z is worse than what Sean Paul was saying. Like how Sean Paul was like, I didn't even get to see Beyonce. We did the song together.
He said some of that shit a long time ago.
Like, yeah.
But you know what
we
else?
all know Beyonce was a Pimp C lover. That was it.
That's what I was gonna say.
Hey, and Pimp C wife was a cougar way before cougars got hot.
I'm not playing with you.
Don't know.
But wait, I think they said,
come on, little Bobby. Little Bobby need to come start talking. Tell her that old woman was freaking on you, boy.
Listen, Linda, I heard somebody say something that about Pimp C's wife coming out and saying, like, she's gonna, I don't know if she's gonna do a tell-all, but it's, you know, it's all alleged. But she knows some things. She seems like, from what I heard on the, you know, on the YouTube streets, I feel like she knows some things and some things that should not come to the forefront for people like Beyonce. Because, and I think Pimp C knew a lot. Somebody said something about Pimp C, Beyonce, a studio, and then her being on some sort of tape. Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but that's what has been said. So, what you say, Mr. Drip?
I say allegedly. Yep.
Allegedly. Listen.
So let me ask you, Chanel. You remember when the Sigmas of U of H had a reality show on MTV?
I don't really watch TV like that, but go ahead.
Okay, so they had a party. I think it was a line crossing party. They had the whole Destiny's Child in bras and panties. That's a fact. Like live and direct. That's a fact. Like for.
But see,
this must have been pre-Michelle.
No, this was when the whole. No. This was the original Destiny's Child when LaToya Lucky and them was there, and the other what's the name? Tavia, whatever her name is.
Yeah. I'm not listening. Nothing really surprises me anymore.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you know, that was I mean, come on, man. Like girls like that, they have fun too. I mean, they was young and shit, but they still have fun.
Absolutely. I'm just saying the thing is, Beyonce has created, and honestly, Tyler Perry too, this like perfect image of themselves. And nobody's perfect.
That's what you think.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Shit on that nigga.
Yeah, no one's perfect. So whenever it does come crashing down, it's gonna crash. And that's why I be like, man, if you got skeletons in your closet, you might as well just come on to the TV or down to the wherever it is production company and just tell everybody everything. So just
because that's what happened when people be busy, like living a life in hiding. Like that's and this is how it comes out. Remember, Mama used to always say, whatever happens in the dark will come to light, because it's always gonna be light at the end of that tunnel. And the end ain't as far as you think it is. Like
there's always 3 sides to a story too.
His, hers, and the truth. Right. So my thing is, so I just really hope this shit with Tyler Perry is not
You hope
I say that. Like that nigga gay. Like it is what it is.
No, whether he gay or not. Like because white boy could be gay too.
That shit that he do though.
Even did they not pointing the
see the
finger
text
at how
messages?
Diddy was exploited?
Did you see the text
man
message?
said he wanted Diddy to give him $50,000, right?
But did you see the text message from Tyler Perry?
Huh?
He's saying, did you see
the text message from Tyler Perry to old dude?
No, I ain't see the messages.
They had a full relationship.
A who?
A full-blown relationship. Like,
So
no
how
bullshit.
did Tyler Perry see? That's what I'm saying. And then Shannon Sharp shit just disappear. This shit
right. Sharp is so happy right now. He's like, thank you, Jesus. Yeah.
But see, now what it is a lot of them niggas don't be having enough evidence to move forward. A civil suit is nothing compared to criminal. It wasn't criminal.
Right. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, so the girl ended up trying to make both because she tried to say she was threatened.
Yeah, but
the text message and shit showed
you still gotta have that shit hold up.
Y'all had this kind of relationship, like this how y'all got y'all rocks off before y'all got y'all rocks off.
Nah, for sure.
Hold on, wait, pause. I thought the Tyler Perry situation was with that handsome man. Where are you talking about a girl? What girl?
He might be gay too. We're talking about Shannon Sharp. But that's what I'm saying. The white dude might be gay too and trying to use this, like, because it started off with a small blackmail between y'all.
The nigga, right? He is. I'm telling you, on the text messages, like I don't think he liked to be roughed up by Tyler Perry. Like Tyler Perry, big old dude, and they like 6'4". Like tall ass nigga, you know what I'm saying? Oh, dude, no one hit it.
Dude probably don't care about letting it come out like this because
dude. Well, yeah, you gotta
for him because it's all about the win for him. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the win for him.
But see, that's the fucked up part though. The nigga wasn't even an actor like that for Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry had him gassed the nigga up saying he was gonna start a whole movie with him, use him as a main actor, all kind of little wild little lies and shit, and the nigga never pulled forward. So I'm thinking the nigga just mad and just.
That's where they go wrong. Tyler Perry, you could have went and got you a fine ass little young boy too, who was down with the shit.
Take our mic.
For real.
But you know, the thing is, I think I've always thought Tyler Perry, like, I always thought he was bisexual at the very least. He also said that he was sexually assaulted by men and women, I believe.
Yeah, but that don't make no difference, though.
I'm not saying it does.
Predator.
You know, I'm not saying it does. I'm saying that to say, I remember he was the first person to kind of help me better understand how sexual assault from a man with a boy works. Because he was like, he said something like, I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like, even though he didn't want it to, his body was responding to what was happening.
Yeah, it's going to.
Right. But it was responding from a male stimuli as well. And that's the first time I really kind of thought about it, because I always, growing up, thought about sexual assault happening to girls.
Quick story.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I used to talk to this dude named YB who rap.
We not cool on the list.
Oh, I did not mean to say his name. So I met this dude who do music or whatever. So I would play with him like, you know how we do. We'll grab at their ass or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I guess this one time I did it, and he said it because he got so angry. But I didn't even realize he got so angry because it happened so quick. And this is around the hurricane. So I'm outside at the car, and he came out there, and 30 minutes had them passed by. He was still in the house. He came out, and he looked me in my face, and he was like, I'm going to tell you this one last time. Don't ever do that fucking shit to me again. And
Mm.
I said, what the fuck you talking about? And his eyes was watered. And I was like, what? Like, what the fuck you talking about? And he was like, I felt my ass gyrate.
Oh.
Like, cause I hit his like, so I feel like
I'm
it
late as
does
fuck fucking with y'all.
like
Bye.
certain
Oh,
shit,
go ahead, thing drip.
like certain get like
Thanks for
because
stopping
your
by.
body will respond to shit.
Right.
I feel like certain shit will put them in a sense to where, man, she just did some gay shit to me and my body responded to it. You know what I mean? So it's like when we wonder why you getting so aggressive or so mad if you're not gay, it's because your body had a response to it and
Right.
you don't want that.
Correct.
And
It's
I
kind
feel
of
like
you remember when I said, I don't know if you was on this panel, but I think I was on one of the drip panels and I was talking about how I had a friend and she's still my friend. And I was asking her about like, you know, have you ever done a threesome or something like that? And she was like, yes. And I'm just kind of like, cause in the back of my mind, I'm like, I think I was actually sitting in the car with her. I can't remember. But anyway, in my mind, I never saw her as bisexual and I don't think she is bisexual. Okay. But when I asked her about the threesome thing, she was basically like, because I'm like, oh, you into girls? Like, what's that about? She was like, no, but she was like, a tongue is a tongue in the dark. That's what she said. And so once I thought that, I was like, okay, I could see how that could happen, but I don't want to be in a room with another naked girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? So to me, that would be off limits to begin
for
with.
me,
I
a tongue
do
ain't
that.
a tongue in the dark.
But actually I was on one of drip shows and it was mostly men on the panel, and so you know, of course they like yeah because you know, men, that I think a lot of men, that's their fantasy, not all men, but that's their fantasy of like having two girls and all that kind of thing. But then you know me, I love to switch it up and flip it up, and so I was like, so what if we replace that extra girl with an extra guy, and is a tongue just the tongue in the dark? And I was like, oh no, Chanel, no, Chanel, that ain't right, that ain't right. And I'm like, ninjas, y'all all just said it was all good. A tongue is just a tongue in the dark. Nobody's gay. But when I put an extra man in there, then suddenly it's like, nah, I don't want no men touching me. You know, they manhood came out and masculinity. So I do think it matters. But anyway, to your point about him being sexually assaulted, that's what Tyler Perry alleges, that he was sexually assaulted by men and women when he was a young boy. From my understanding, that's what I remember, allegedly. But so when he said that on Oprah that time, I was like, it was like a little light bulb went off in my head, like, oh, okay. It doesn't mean, because that's when I started thinking, because I always thought he was bisexual or gay. I always felt like he was in the closet. But then when he said that, then I thought to myself, anybody could maybe be in that situation where your body is having a response to a sexual situation, but then you don't know that the person is the same sex at the time. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're a child, you're confused because it's like, I shouldn't be getting horny when this is happening, but you're a child and it shouldn't be happening to you anyway. But when he said that, I just kind of thought, oh, so for all of the guys, you know, and all of the women that'll be like, oh, well, if he was sexually assaulted as a child, then he might be gay, and that's gonna make you gay. No, you like what you like, period, point blank. So you either like women, or you either like men, or you like both, or whatever it is. That's just how I personally feel. I don't think anybody can make you gay. You know, I just think however you respond to what you're looking at, if you like that, then that's what you are. That's just how I see it. So, but at any rate, I always felt like if he got married, I'm not sure if he is, but if he got married and if he had kids, I always felt like he did it for the world, not necessarily for who he really is. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he'll come out of the closet, but I always saw him as gay or bisexual.
So he has one child, a son,
He does.
right?
Again,
And I feel like, so you have a son by your ex-wife. You got married. You had
so he was married. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So you got married, you had a son, and you're divorced. Was it only for you to be able to produce a son? Because a lot of men, they need a son. And that's a son so the son can carry on their legacy. Because you know, women, our names change, all different kind of things. But a man carries on their, you know, the legacy of his father. Or that's how it's supposed to be. So I just question all of these things, and I need to know more. I need to see these messages Drip speak of.
Well, we're gonna go over it in just a sec. So we're gonna go over. We're gonna hear this young lady. Oh no, hold on. Let's see. Which one is the one? Did I do something with it? Oh, okay. So we're gonna listen to this young lady. Her channel is called That Surprise Witness, and I love her. Okay, so let me present. Okay. I just only want to listen to her part because she's naming like the allegations. So hang on 1 second.
Like writing and then directing and then producing, and then he has his own film studio now. But he's signed now up with something with Oprah, and that's all going to come up in the lawsuit. So let me just pull that back up. All right, here it is. So what is Derek suing for? Well, as harassment, work environment harassment, all these different things, gender violence, Bain Act, sexual battery, sexual assault, negligent retention, intentional infliction of emotional distress. People always sue for that. Very rarely do they get it. Who's getting sued? Tyler Perry, individually, and innocent and not liable till proven otherwise. I don't know. I wasn't there with any of this stuff. Okay, y'all. So
TPS.
I can't vouch for anybody's sides here. I'm just reading this public lawsuit that was made public by Deadline. Actually, I didn't even have to pay for this one. Thanks, Deadline. Who else? TPS. Is this like Tyler Perry's studio or something?
Yes, that's what it is.
TPS Production Services LLC. And Action LLC. And Jane Doe's 1 through 50. Okay, those are the people getting sued by Derek Dixon. Now, if you don't know who is Derek Dixon and all that, that's all right, because I didn't either. And then he kind of tells you right here. So it's coming up. It's really pretty long. Not really, but it's a fairly long complaint. 46 pages total. We're on page 2 here. See how much of it we can get through. Okay, files the complaint against Tyler Perry, aka Emmett Perry Jr. Okay, that's his real name. Somebody was saying that's his real name, or Tyler Perry is.
I didn't know that. Okay,
his real name or something. Emmett. That's aka Emmett Perry Jr. Then these other companies, TPS and Action. The following complaint is based on information and belief. The case arises from a sustained pattern of workplace harassment, assault, and retaliation perpetrated by Tyler Perry, a powerful media mogul, against the plaintiff who's suing Derek Dixon, a professional actor and screenwriter. Tyler Perry is an American actor, filmmaker, playwright who has built one of the most successful careers in the film and television industry.
That is true.
Is your pool water safe? Crystal Water Monitor simplifies pool.
Why?
He took his success and power and used his considerable influence in the entertainment industry to create a coercive, sexually exploitative dynamic with the plaintiff, initially promising him career advancement and creative opportunities, such as producing his pilot and casting him in a show, only to subject the plaintiff to escalating sexual harassment, assault, and battery, and professional retaliation when he did not reciprocate Tyler Perry's unwanted advances. These events occurred while Mr. Dixon was employed as a regular on the Tyler Perry show called The Oval. Okay, so he's in a show called The Oval, and it is a Tyler Perry show. This guy right here, Mr. Dixon, is an actor in the show. Okay, so Tyler Perry is his what? Boss. Okay, got it. So
it's funny. So I like her because she's young, but she has a very comedic type show. And so the thing I will say that's interesting to me about what's going on with the Tyler Perry lawsuit. So of what I know, it seems like the guy, Derek, is that his name, who's suing Tyler Perry, is suing him for such a large amount of money that people, I feel like, are kind of like, oh, we don't believe you. We believe that this is some sort of shakedown. Like, that's kind of what I've been hearing. But people always say that, especially if it's women trying to sue someone for money. This happens to be a person that isn't a woman. So it's interesting for them, in my opinion, for them to now talk about it from a different perspective, because usually if a woman says she's been sexually assaulted, then from the jump, they got a million questions. Why she didn't do it this way? Why she didn't tell 10 years ago? Why is she coming try to get money? If it was really about the assault, then she should have gone to the criminal courts, on and on and on. And this usually happens when there's any type of sexual assault claim from a female, and the male is usually rich or wealthy and famous or something to that. Hey, Miss Larger Curse, come on, welcome to the Chanel's reality.
Hey, Chanel, how's it going? Happy summertime.
I know, right?
Summertime.
I know that's right.
That's good.
So we were just talking about Tyler Perry and how this has been news. And then later in the show, we're going to talk a little bit about Potomac and Monique returning to the Potomac cast that I think is happening. But at any rate, so this guy, he's what I would say is a small time actor. I don't know who he is, but he is suing Tyler Perry for a large sum of money, like hundreds of millions of dollars. He's saying that Tyler kind of kept him in this kind of like string him along type of relationship. So it's sort of like, I'm going to see all I can get out of you. This is all alleged, but I'm going to keep telling you that I'm going to keep promising you, I'm going to put you in my plays, or I'm going to put you in my movie or my TV shows, and then really kind of never does it. But from what I understand, he was in at least one of his TV shows. I think it's called The Oval on Netflix. It's either a TV
did you read the actual suit thingamabob yet?
Well, the young lady on That Surprise Witness, I like her when she gives like a breakdown of it. We just listened to her about it. Do you have more to add to that? Because she basically was saying that he is suing Tyler Perry, basically Tyler Perry Productions and other associates of Tyler Perry. And he's claiming, like I said, some sort of sexual assault and or sexual harassment in the. Is there more to it than that, because I haven't been paying attention at all, really. I just kind of decided I want to.
Well, all I can add is that I've been watching The Oval and Ruthless and am familiar with his character from both of those shows.
Okay.
So the guy's name is Derek in real life. His character on the show is Dale. And he started off on Ruthless. And Ruthless is a Tyler Perry production, and it's about this cult. This guy right here on my thumbnail in the white, he's the Most High. They call him the Most High, and he's in charge of a cult that's full of like criminals, hookers, crackheads, like unsavory people that basically need a place to stay for free and want to get high and have sex. And he is the highest and only actually has sex with men and men from the camp. And he said he convinces them that he's enlightening them. When he, leaves it inside of them, he's enlightening them. They're carrying.
Is this The Oval or is this the other show?
This is the Ruthless where he started. So Dale, the guy that's in the thumbnail, the white guy with the very chiseled.
Everything, because I want to watch it now.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good and naughty. And so he only has sex with certain men at the camp to enlighten them, and then they go have sex with the women at the camp to impregnate them with the Most High's enlightened seed that he convinced them you can only get it from me giving it to you. So then when the next guy goes and gets
hold on. I don't want you to tell us all of it because I want to watch it.
No, that's not all of it. It has like 52 episodes a season. It's like this is just the premise. This is this is just
giving you a summary. I want to hear.
Yeah.
Surprise. In other words, the show.
Yeah,
Hold on.
it's pretty much that. So the Most High dude it's all about unwanted sex, sexual advances. The people get drugged without them knowing, and then they end up in a cult where they can't leave, and like
Diddy.
that. So Dale was on that show, and he played a character in town, not in the cult. He played a
Okay.
character in town, and the cult people would go to get like feed and eggs and sugar from the store, and he worked at the store. And so his character on the show was gay, and he liked one of the soldiers that would come in, but they're not gay, they're just enlightened. So they would get mad at him for making passes at them.
Oh.
And so then all of a sudden, I turned on the Oval, which I also been watching since about season 2. All of a sudden, Dale's at the Oval. I'm like, Dale, what you doing in the Oval? How'd that happen? As it turns out, he's on the run from some pimps. And they found him in the little town he was hiding out in by the cult people. The Rakadushi is what they call him. He was hiding out in that town, and the pimp caught up with him. So now he came to the city, Washington, D.C., and ended up working in another pharmacy. And in this pharmacy, it happened to be the place where the president got his coke. And it's crazy. So then the Secret Service guy takes a liking to Dale and would grape him sexually, stalk him. He actually shot him with rubber bullets. He had him kidnapped. He would hold him against his will. He would make him threats, all kind of stuff. Come to find out, based off the suit, that the stuff not only happened to Derek in real life, part of his backstory is horrible essay, being held against his will, having to take a run for the money, which is part of how he even got to the set.
Wow.
He's telling Tyler this allegedly while they're drunk. He's like, oh yeah, this happened to me, this happened. Tyler's writing it in, making him relive the trauma in addition to re-traumatizing him.
Wow.
Crazy.
Now I'm gonna have to do a whole what do they call it when you want to binge? I'm gonna have to binge watch this. Wow.
Well, see you in December. Like I said, it has 52 episodes each.
Right, but I haven't watched any of them, so now it'll be something good if I want to, go and binge watch both of those shows. Okay, I'm glad you kind of gave that breakdown, because I'm like I was telling Carmen earlier, I'm not a fan of Tyler Perry movies, Tyler Perry plays or shows, because it always feels very predictable to me, always. But except for this one,
Straw?
I watched part of Straw, but that also felt very predictable to me. I could figure it out from a mile away. Although, I felt like, what's the lead lady's name? I forget her name. Taraji P. Henson is a great actress, and I feel like she didn't have greatness around her, but she could hold it in my mind on her own. She didn't really need it, but I really wish they had some other. And I couldn't finish watching it because it was just like so predictable to me. So she was good.
Knew everything that was going to happen. You could totally tell that.
I could tell. I can, because Tyler Perry is very predictable, with the exception of there's this one movie called The Family That Prays, I think. That was one of the movies that I was like, no, this wasn't predictable. It felt more like a actual production of a movie and not something, you know how it's like, you could just tell, okay, this is a Tyler Perry movie, kind of like how we could tell, what's the name of that damn movie? Well, Spike Lee. But I was gonna say more of a Tom Cruise and all of those Mission Impossible movies. Like, you kind of know, you know what I mean? Even though it's an action movie thriller, it's different. I just can kind of tell. Same thing with Spike Lee. That's an excellent person to bring up as well. So I wanted to give it a try. I'm just like, I can't. I was getting bored and sleepy. But
I loved Saw. It was so freaking good.
The Saw movie?
My gosh. Yes, the Saw movie was outstanding. I did not expect it. I too usually can predict it from a mile away. I was like the rest of the people on TikTok, mind blown. I was like, no way.
I wasn't, and let me tell you why. I wasn't blown. I think the elements of the movie definitely blew me away, but the ending didn't blow me away, because as soon as the first, I don't know if it was first season, whatever scene they show the guy laying there with the other guy that's handcuffed to the wall or whatever, or ankle cuffed to the wall, the first thing I thought is that man is not dead. That's what I thought immediately. The guy that was Yeah, so once I got to the end and it made sense, I was like, oh, okay. But the rest of the movie, everything in between the first and the last, I couldn't predict. So
Yeah.
Saw was one of those movies I saw really late because, or franchises I would say, is because I don't like scary movies. And I thought it was going to be scary and creepy and all that. And my husband was like, I promise you, like, this is probably like, by this time they had already made like 5 Saw movies and I ain't seen none of them. So we did like a binge watch, and he was like, I'll skip over the parts that look like they might be scary because he knows. I'm like, I don't want nothing scary in my house, period, point blank. I don't need no little girl running outside with a sheet over her head, a woman come. I don't need none of that. I don't need any reason to have to turn my TV onto Sports Center so I can go to sleep. Like, I ain't got time. Anyway, sidebar. But no, so were you one of those people who always felt like Tyler Perry was bisexual or gay or something or other? Did you ever feel that way about him?
Actually, yeah, I felt like he was maybe in the closet, or like we were going to find out later on that he was like that. And then when that documentary dropped, I was like, oh, well, that explains a lot.
Oh, there's a documentary? What's the documentary?
Surviving Tyler Perry or something like that on Netflix.
I did not know that. Carmen, did you know there was a documentary?
Or Mama's Boy or something like that. What's his mom's name? Lucille's son or something like that. And it's about how he was molested and how he then molested and how, yeah.
Wait.
It's a whole documentary.
It's
So,
about how
that
he was
confirmation.
molested and then how he molested?
Wow.
Yeah, like he's had situations or something, allegedly. I'm gonna put allegedly on that part because yeah, but what I got from the documentary is that it happened to him and that he's done it. That's what I got from it.
Okay. Well, now I gotta go watch. I gotta go find this because I certainly
That's
didn't
on
know.
Netflix.
Okay.
It's in the Netflix, Surviving Him or Miss Lucille's Boy. Can somebody look it up? So, but but that didn't even matter. I didn't care nothing about. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care. And the whole thing about that you want me to care, not you personally, but that the world wants me to care who other people sleep with in order for me to like get along with them or not is just ridiculous. There's a lot of other things my neurons could be trying to figure out than what hole you like. I don't give a fuck, actually. And you making it my business so you can gauge my reaction is the real fucking problem. So, you know, who you do is who you do. And I don't really care about that part of him. I do like how he employs all the black people. He pays them more than they ever got paid after years in Hollywood, working with white people. And so he does a lot of things to like move our culture forward. And I appreciate him for that. But it seems like he might have some demons that need exorcising. And I don't know that giving him access to stars is exactly the healing he needs.
Correct. And well, let me just say this too. I could care less about anyone's sexuality whatsoever. Like, I just feel like let people live, whatever it is that they're doing. It's not bothering you. If you don't like gay people, don't have gay friends, whatever. I just don't care at all. I don't care to know. Like, the only ones that I will say do bother me are the ones who, and these are usually more vocal people like YouTube people. They have this kind of like, they have almost, I would say, like this vitriol towards regular women, people who are just, regular women that are not on, in alphabet, any of the alphabets people. I just feel like, why are you acting like that? Like, I've met those type of guys in life sometimes, and it's almost like they're jealous that you're a woman. And so they're really kind of rude towards women. I feel like there's I can't think of his name. Is it Armand something? He's a YouTuber. I like him sometimes. Sometimes I don't like him because I feel like he could be real rude. And then there's another one. Oh my God. He was on that TGIF with Claudia Jordan. I can't remember his name, but I know him too. He, to me, gives that too. There's other guys that I've met, and those are the only ones that I don't like. But everybody else, I'm just like, listen, the more flamboyant, the better. I'm here for it. Like, I'm just like, come be my gay bestie. I can hear less. So let's take a little listen to the line crime on the case for Tyler Perry, because like I said, I haven't really heard much. So I don't know. Let me push play.
Perry is the latest celebrity to be accused of sexual assault. We got our hands on a new lawsuit filed Friday in Los Angeles Superior Court by an actor named Derek Dixon, who starred on one of Perry's hit shows. We want to break down this lawsuit and what it could mean for the movie mogul. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
Hey Juan, if you want, you can hit the link and come up and give us your take on what's going on if you want to. Did I move the link or did I move it? Hold on, let's see. Oh no, yeah, you should be able to hit the link if you want. I would love to hear a man's perspective. Let's go.
So to start off, Dixon is suing Tyler Perry, the individual, as well as his production studio. That studio is called TPS Production Services, LLC. That stands for Tyler Perry Studios in Action, LLC. And he is looking for $260 million. Dixon, who portrayed a lead role in Perry's show called The Oval, is claiming 10 causes of action for the civil suit. Quid pro quo sexual harassment, work environment sexual harassment, workplace gender violence, violation of the Bain Act, a California law that protects against violation of someone's civil rights through force or coercion, sexual battery, sexual assault, negligent retention, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and retaliation. Let's get into this lawsuit. The complaint starts off by saying, quote, "This case arises from a sustained pattern of workplace sexual harassment, assault, and retaliation perpetrated by Tyler Perry, a powerful media mogul, against plaintiff Derek Dixon."
Let me guess. You're thinking about going to therapy. And as a therapist myself, of course I'm going to say that's a great idea.
A professional actor and screenwriter. Mr. Perry is an American actor, filmmaker, and playwright who has built one of the most successful careers in the film and television industry. Mr. Perry took his success and power and used his considerable influence in the entertainment industry to create a coercive, sexually exploitive dynamic with Mr. Dixon, initially promising him career advancement and creative opportunities, such as producing his pilot and casting him in his show, only to subject him to escalating sexual harassment, assault, and battery, and professional retaliation when Mr. Dixon did not reciprocate Mr. Perry's unwanted advances. These events occurred while Mr. Dixon was employed as a series regular on the Tyler Perry show, The Oval, and while Mr. Perry held direct control over his employment, compensation, and creative opportunities. This lawsuit even compares Perry to some other infamous celebrities who have been called out for their behavior in the past. Quote, "Just like Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Kevin Spacey, Roger Ailes, and many others in the industry, Mr. Perry's success has led him to believe that money and influence can get him whatever he wants. That belief slowly transformed into the false idea that Mr. Perry can get whomever he wants."
Wow. Wow. So Juan says the text messages were horrible, and Tyler Perry isn't the only one. Fat Joe also got sued the other day. Similar allegations. Rest in peace to my teenage years. Wow. Woo, that's a lot. I'm kind of glad I haven't been paying attention because I ain't got time for this to infiltrate my brain. I got too many other things going on. But this is crazy. It's so sad, one, for the young man. If this is, again, like I said, everything on Chanel's reality is alleged. It is, in my opinion, and it's for entertainment purposes only. We don't know these people. We wasn't there. Okay. But I just I have a little bit of sadness in my heart. Carmen, I don't know if you're speaking because you're on mute, love. But it's sad to me. I'm just like, why? But I always say, sexual assault is never about sex. It's always about power and control. It just is what it is. Because the reason I know that is because of my education, but also too, lots of people will think, oh, it's about sex. It's not. But the reason I say it's not about sex is because, and power and control, is because those people a lot of times could have sex with other willing participants and they choose not to because they want to have that power and control over you. So like if you think of the Diddy'S and all the Weinsteins, the Epsteins, the R. Kellys of the world, all of those people, they have the money And they could go get however many sex workers they would like to, you know, fill every fantasy. But then they would have to pay them and they wouldn't be able to have all of the control and the power over them. So that's, in my opinion, why they do it. Because you think about it, it's like, I don't even know how much Tyler Perry is worth. Alexa, how much is Tyler Perry worth?
Tyler Perry is worth an estimated $850 million US. He has a salary of
Alexa,
around
stop. So according to Alexa, this man is on his way to being a billionaire. So I know a lot of people's issue with this, from what I've seen on the internet, is with this particular lawsuit. One, everybody feels like, oh, people are just, you know, out here just trying to throw lawsuits, see what sticks so they can get a part of the gravy train. I know that's a lot of the rhetoric on YouTube and elsewhere. And then people think that the amount that he's asking for is so big that people are like, oh no, this is just a money grab. They always say when it's sexual assault, everybody's, not everybody, but lots of people are like, oh, it's a money grab, it's a money grab. I don't know none of these people. I don't know Tyler Perry. I don't know this Dixon guy that's suing him. I don't know R. Kelly, P. Diddy, Weinstein, Lefstein. I don't know none of these people. And I wasn't there. But it is a substantial amount of money. And I wonder how the guy that's suing Mr. Perry, Tyler Perry, what's his name? That lady told us his real name. I can't remember what it is. But anyway, I don't understand how him and his lawyer got to the large amount of like 200 or 300 million. I think it's like 200 million or 180 million. It's some large amount. I wonder how I would love to know how him and his attorney came up with that number. Hold on. I need to make sure y'all can hear me because I don't know I don't know why, but in my back room, in my little studio, it seems like the Wi-Fi isn't as great. All right, y'all can still hear me, so that's good. So Miss Larger Curves or Carmen, did you guys want to chime in about what we just heard? Carmen, if you're saying something, I can hear you. Okay, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was talking to someone else. I'm sorry. So just like Harvey Weinstein, I need to catch up. I'm sorry, but is this part of the lawsuit?
No, yeah, well, yeah, that is part of the affidavit. It says, so the guy that is suing Tyler Perry is saying that what happened to him is adjacent to the Harvey Weinsteins, Bill Cosby's, R. Kelly, P. Diddy's of the world. That's what he's saying. It's on that level. And I was just saying, what do you think about the amount? Because I think he's suing him for like 180 million, or it could be 200
No,
million.
he's suing for 260 million.
So I was like, how the hell did he get to this? How did him and his attorney?
Yeah, I want to know where the first thing when I heard that just now, $260 million, where the fuck did you come up with this number?
I don't know. But I guess he's like, him and his attorney are like, let's swing for the stars, because according to Alexa, Tyler is worth $800 million. So he's well on
$850 million.
Yeah, so he's on his way to being a billionaire. Okay. So maybe that's where they got that from. But I think I don't know. So I can't tell, is this a criminal suit or is this a civil suit? I don't know.
This is a civil suit.
Oh, so I guess he could say swing for the whatever.
Yeah, this is a civil suit, and baby, and they sue for civil and hope for a settlement even a civil can cause a criminal. You know what I mean? Like, look at
yes. Yeah,
I was led to him going through criminal, like, and that was a settlement.
I will say, I don't know why. If this has happened, oh Lordy, my computer is going to die very soon. Hold on. Hold on. I want my computer not to die. Okay, sorry. What was I saying? Oh, so unless this happened and it's outside of the statute of limitations, I don't really understand why he didn't go the criminal route. Because, I'm always saying a lot of times people don't go the criminal route because people don't believe them anyways, and they're taking a risk with the jury of their peers. So maybe he just didn't care to do it from a criminal standpoint. Maybe it's just, see, in this case, and I don't know this man, but this is one of the situations where the people that will say it's a money grab, it feels that way. Because if you're not beyond the statutes of limitation, then why wouldn't you bring up the allegations of sexual assault if that's part of what's happening? And I think from what the lawsuit says, there was sexual harassment. It seems like it was more of sexual harassment than sexual assault. But I don't know. Any sexual assault is basically the unlawful touching of someone else in a sexual part. Because assault is the unlawful touching of someone. So you touch somebody, you spit on them, throw some at them, whatever it is, that can be considered assault. So I wonder if he groped him or kissed him or,
Yeah, he said he was groped. He said Tyler Perry came into the house that he was in, the guest house or whatever, got in the bed with him.
Oh.
And began groping him.
Well, there's that. I don't know.
And it was also stated in the lawsuit that was just read that anytime he didn't entertain his advances, basically, Tyler Perry would throw the show and shit in his face,
yeah.
So that's coercion of the heart, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's so again, it's just like it's irritating.
Coercion of the heart. That's more so coercion by way of your enterprise.
The amount of 260 is punitive, and other damages for a civil lawsuit. The specific amount of 260 in addition to compensation for sexual battery. So it's in addition to, and it's for alleged damages. Punitive damages are not automatic. They're awarded in a civil suit to punish a defendant, especially if harmful behavior has been done, to deter others from doing the same thing. How they come to that amount has to do with the defendant's wealth. Punitive damages must be large enough to sting, especially if a wealthy defendant. They need to be proportional. Courts usually compare the punitive damages to the compensatory damages. So, if you got 10 million in compensatory, you can't get more than 90 million punitive. So there's some kind of scale. So yeah, and few awards do that, but it has to do with a severe wrongdoing, the financial position of a defendant, and the need to prevent similar behavior. The Tyler Perry case, the legal team is likely arguing that Perry's alleged misconduct was extreme enough and his wealth justifies such a high punitive damage.
Wow. Well, I'm so happy you came on over here to Chanel's reality because I didn't know that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I did not know that because, like I said, I deal with so much of my regular job. I just be like, I ain't got time. But I'm trying to do better. Put out more content. So thank you so much for giving us that kind of that rundown because I certainly didn't know that. So okay, because I don't really know much about civil court at all, really, other than it's a way for someone to get some monetary justice if the criminal courts don't, find said person guilty of something, or if you have passed the statute of limitation. That's probably the extent of my understanding of how the civil courts work. So thank you for that breakdown. I think from what I've heard is that Tyler Perry has made some sort of statement, or his publicist, somebody put out some sort of statement basically saying it's a shakedown or it's not true, so on and so forth. So listen, I'm a proponent of telling people that didn't happen, getting in front of it if you are not guilty. But let's just be clear. A lot of these people be guilty along the way. They've done something. Somebody saw something. Somebody texted some message, something. Somebody said it in their therapy session. And that doesn't make it true. But it's just like, I don't, oh God, just don't come out and say anything, because once you do that, once you claim this is a lie and I didn't do anything and these people are just coming to shake me down and all that kind of stuff, once you claim that, you are pigeonholing yourself and painting yourself into a corner that you ain't gonna be able to get out of. Because if there's a picture, a recording, a text message, an email, a photo, a recording, is or someone else says it also happens to them and they have some sort of substantial evidence, it's going to be a problematic for your defense attorneys. And that's why they tell you to shut the hell up. That's why our Constitution said, I don't know if it's the Constitution that says you have the right to remain silent. It's probably more of like the penal code, but whatever, you get what I'm saying. Like, just shut the hell up. Like, I'm happy for the idiots to speak who have done something, who have sexually assaulted someone or sexually harassed someone. I love for them to come out and start claiming they ain't do shit. It wasn't them, it was somebody else. And the whole Shaggy music, it wasn't me. I know you saw it on the camera, it wasn't me. Like, I'm happy when they pigeonhole themselves into those type of situations, but only if it's actually true. But again, even if it's false, once you say that, it's going to be real hard to get out of that. If that person that's accusing you of something
has any proof.
Yeah. Or even if something looks bad, it don't necessarily have to be bad. Now, the thing I was going to say, I heard on someone else's show, they were saying the text messages, and the text messages could be messed with or manipulated or something to that effect. And that's true. Nowadays, anything can be clipped and manipulated. However, I don't know how you would manipulate something, because my assumption is the people who make the text message, or the phone companies, are going to have the real text messages. And it wouldn't matter if you change your name in your phone and all that kind of stuff, because it's just the text message is tied to a number somewhere. So all they're going to have to do to prove it, unless you had, I guess, a burner phone or something like that, is that this text message came from this phone number, and this person has or had that phone number at some period in time. So I think the whole proving the text message thing is probably going to be golden if it's actually true. But from what one said the text messages are horrible, and Tyler Perry isn't the only one. Oof, Jesus. So I'm like, how many people did this man go around and talk to or mess with it or whatever? I don't know. Damn. And I hate it too, because it's just like, it feels like there's an endless list of people that I kind of have to be like, okay, I'm not listening to their music anymore. Okay, I'm not watching their movies anymore. It's just like, it's sad. So I hope this isn't true, but I have a sneaky feeling that it probably has some merit at some level. I don't know. What do you guys think?
As far as not supporting the movies or the other actors that are in the movies, not really with that. Like, I personally, like, okay, so I'm not with it on movies, but for like solo acts, like Alicia Keys, I'm not with cheating whores. And so as soon as I found out she was gobbling Swiss Beats peanut,
Right. I feel the same way.
I'm like, you could have had literally anybody. You're so beautiful. Why did you mess with this lady's husband? And she had a baby too. So I'm just like, I didn't listen to Alicia Keys, I swear, y'all, for like a decade.
She had a whole family, that lady. She had a whole ass family.
The whole family. And the same thing with like Angelina Jolie. As soon as she stole Brad Pitt, like, she could have literally just waited a year. She could have waited a year, and Jennifer would have been done anyway. Why you got to go steal that man when you could have literally had? And then she didn't even want his ass, and now all of that stuff. Anyway, so, and that, if it's one thing, one person I'm affecting, then yeah, I'm not doing it. But on like a whole Tyler Perry production, a whole Bill Cosby production, I'm like, why can't Felicia Rashad eat? Why can't Theo eat?
I do understand.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, in that respect, I definitely still try to participate if it's not too egregious. But then again, on Housewives of Atlanta or a Housewife franchise, I will have supported you for like a whole decade, and then you fire Nene and I'm off you for 5 years. So, you know what I'm saying? So, in that case, they don't need to eat because they said she didn't need help. And so then it was like they did it to themselves because they didn't support that lady. And so, like, I can reason it away. But in generally speaking, I love a good boycott, divest, and sanction act.
Yes, I love it too. Remember when we were boycotting her? I was on your show. You were boycotting. Oh, I think we were boycotting Giselle. From the
Oh
Real
yeah.
Housewives of Potomac. I remember that.
Oh
That was
my
because I
gosh.
think remember
Yeah.
she was sign a petition. Yeah, that was funny. Because of her colorism, but at any rate,
Yeah. And I can't believe, and even with that, can we segue why you, since you brought that up, why is it that Bravo makes room for problematic people? Like they will have not narrow space, and all of a sudden there's room for problematic people like Ashley Darby. Why is she getting rewarded for having the fakest divorce ever, for the man suing a co-star, for her getting to stop the suit? You know what I mean? Like she's constantly getting rewarded. And then everybody knew she was still dating Josh. They wasted their time letting her go on Love Island, and she still ended up with Josh in the end. And
I
she's
she was on another
divorced, not divorced. Yeah, she's been on another show. Her and Giselle both just got rewarded with a spinoff called Love Island with Giselle Ashley, Luann de Lesseps, and Shannon Bedore all go to an
Stop
island.
it!
No, they're all on the island where they filmed the Love is Blind
Oh,
honeymoon thing, you know, where after the people pick each other on Love is Blind, they go someplace in like Cabo San Lucas. And so they're all at a hotel for a couple weeks and they date multiple people. It's kind of like Love Island, but for four women from Bravo. And so they got rewarded with that show. You know
that's
what I
not.
mean? And
Mm-hmm.
then like, okay,
I can't hear you anymore. Did you go
Shannon
somewhere?
Bedora, I just mentioned, was
Mm.
on the spinoff show, but people want to say, oh, Karen Huger shouldn't come back to TV because she was drunk driving. And Shannon Bedora hit a house. She like went into somebody's living room that didn't ask her car to be there. And she's getting spinoff after spinoff with no problem. And Jax. He's abused multiple women from franchise to franchise. He
Mm.
started on PR. He got to go to Brittany in Kentucky. And now he's back over here on the Valley. He gets to come out and say he's a fucking crackhead. And now he gets to go on an apology tour. And then Kristen Doty, she freaking was a racist. And now she gets a redemption arc as a mom. Stassi Schroeder gets to be on the Villa. But I'm like, where's Nene? Vicky Gunvalson just got invited to BravoCon again. Where's Nene?
And some of these people that you're speaking about sued Bravo. There's a lot of people who successfully, well, there's a few of them who successfully sued Bravo and then were able to still be on another show.
Yeah.
But they
So
won't
it's
let
just,
you. You're right. Yeah.
Or they get rid of good people like Candace for, like Monique. You wanted to talk about that too.
Yeah. I
Monique.
want to say something since you brought up Candace.
Uh-huh.
I do feel as though Candace left on her own, wanted to go because of, she's with child and all that. But I really wanted Candace to stay. Candace has been my favorite since she came on the show, period, point blank. I always liked her. I always understood her. She was my girl. There were some things that she's done. She could be problematic, but they're all problematic. So whatever. But I felt like all of what was going on, including what Giselle and Robin were doing, it's something about bringing a baby into this world and a wedding that no matter what happens, people will support the baby shower. They will come. They will come to your wedding. They will come to a baby shower. I feel like Candace being pregnant and them following her journey would have been a gold mine, because I do think on some level pregnancy softens people's hearts and then people can kind of move on from whatever they had a problem with. And I think it would have naturally come back full circle. But for her own health and well-being, I'm glad she didn't, come on there. But I felt like whatever was going on between Candace and Robin and what was going on with Candace and Giselle would have worked itself out. I do think that. I think they wouldn't have wanted to probably come to, I just feel like in the background, they would have made up. That's what I feel. Because now Candace is coming back, is my opinion. And they're going to have to do it anyways. So I wish that I really wish we would have gotten to chronicle that. Because like you said, Big Head Ashley got to chronicle really both of her, babies. And then she didn't get to. So I just really wish Candace would have stayed around so that we can saw that process.
Yeah.
But she's still around. So, I ain't mad at her.
I semi don't agree. because Giselle didn't give a damn that Monique had just had the baby when she brought up fake paternity about the baby on a national platform. So I don't think a baby softens devils. I think it just makes devils more active. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just makes devils more active, because how are you gonna do that to that baby but not to my baby? I was so glad when Candace took her sand into another sandbox, because they did not deserve to be more famous off of her pregnancy.
I agree.
Not today, Satan. And she never took accountability for trying to harm the father of her newborn baby. So if you don't give a damn about my baby daddy, and you don't give a damn about me, then you're not going to give a damn about my baby, and I don't want you around him, and you're not making near a dollar off of this process over here. Mm-mm.
So I will say that's a fair point for sure. But the only pushback I have to that, and it's a tiny bit, is because this was Monique already had children. Even though I think it was disgusting and deplorable what all of them did to Monique, her marriage, her the trainer and all that. I just feel like certain things you just need to leave alone. But you're right. They did, when she did get pregnant again, they were still doing what they were doing. So you're absolutely right about that.
And plus, Ashley being such good friends with Giselle, Ashley would have loved to get a Candace back for calling her a big back, four-headed water buffalo, whatever she called her that time. Or am I getting I'm blending shows. I'm blending pregnancy shade, because it was Kenya who was the water buffalo. And you know what I mean? So Ashley would have loved to get back at her for that. And I could totally see the colorist Giselle helping with that, holding it against her on behalf of her new Robin transplant. And because Robin got fired. You're right. Candace left of her own free accord. She saw the way they were moving. They didn't protect her. They didn't provide a safe space for her. We found out from that last reunion she was at that they had actually chastised her before she went out and told her she needed to play nice. And then Giselle boasted about going to them and telling them that she needed to act a certain kind of way after you just lied on me all season, bitch. Really, bitch? I'm like, no wonder she took her sand and left.
Right. Absolutely love it. Okay, so like I was gonna say, my only pushback to the thing, and I agree with everything you just said, by the way, was that the only difference is, in my opinion, but we'll never know, right? The only difference is this was Candace's first baby. So I think maybe it would have been but you're absolutely right. I don't think they knew at that last reunion that she was pregnant. I don't think they knew that. I think maybe Karen knew, maybe. But I feel like because Karen probably would have spilled the beans at some point.
Yeah, Karen, nobody knew. She couldn't trust anybody at that point.
Yeah, you couldn't trust anybody at all. You're absolutely right. But I still wish that we could have seen the journey. You know, I personally have interacted with Candace, and she's liked my what do you call social media things, or responded to me on social media. I've had a few wives do that, and I'm like, okay, Chanel, all right, well, whatever. But at any rate, I just wanted her to have that, like so many other housewives have. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so yeah, I did want to talk about Monique, because listen, I've watched that season 5. I think it's part 3. I don't even know how many times. And I remember watching it, like feeling bad for Giselle. And it takes a lot for me to feel bad for Giselle, because I cannot stand her. She's okay. She was okay this last season. She was tolerable this last season. But there are so many seasons where I'm just like, she just irritates my soul. Especially
like nails on a chalkboard much, Giselle.
Right. Exactly. And especially because of the light skin thing that she and what's her name? Robin both act like they don't know. At least Ashley on her first season, she called it out with the whole Katie thing. She called it out a lot of times. She was just like, I don't understand what this race thing is about. Like because they made it about that for Katie. Is it Katie? I can't remember.
Yeah,
Katie.
And they were telling things like she wasn't black, or
correct.
They were telling Katie all kind of stuff.
They because Giselle, I remember that one part of the trailer was like, she said something to Katie like, you act like it was a problem for you to be black or something like that. And I'm like,
yeah,
I'm not mad at Katie. She got a whole ass white woman for her mama. Like, what are y'all talking about? So what if she's
right.
dark skin? But at the end of the day, they harassed her. I love Katie, but I don't think she could ever come back. But that new lady, the one from the shopping network, to me, she's a sober Katie. Like, I feel like
Stacey.
That's her name. So Stacey to me is a sober acting Katie. If Katie was not
sober, yeah. I get it. Yeah, totally. Totally.
And I like her. I don't know. So apparently she lied about something. They keep saying she lied about, but I like her.
You know what? For the liar Giselle to point out a lie, you would know, bitch. You would know, bitch. Mm-hmm.
That part. And like going back to the Monique thing, Monique, I think she said she would never come back or something like that. But whatever. They must have given her the right number. And I liked Monique. And I disliked some of the things that Monique did. But I really always liked her, just like I always liked Candace, because I feel like with Monique, she was not letting Giselle off of any hook. She wasn't letting anybody off any hook. And I was here for it every second of it. But what she did to her in that part 3 reunion, I was like I felt like she set Giselle on fire. And I've heard people say over the years that Giselle cried or, yelled and had a whole breakdown. I don't know. Because what they showed us, Giselle was still very stoic, in my opinion. And Monique was reading her from the top of her head to the bottom of her feet. And it was no way around it. I was just kind of like, damn. She didn't say, yo, pastor husband, fake husband in the phone. Whole her out. Huh?
Remember she called him Pastor Peen?
Oh, Pastor Peen with his big peen all around there. Yes. I was just like, what is happening? That's the only time I ever really felt bad for Giselle outside of her father passing, because I just think, take everything off the table. That's someone's loved one, and I'm not going to say anything about her. But I'm happy that Monique is going to come back. But I think they secured, what's her name? The little bitty mini. What was her name? Candace, and then secured Monique. Because I think Candace might not have come back if Monique was on there.
Candace is doing something else NBC family-wise, but I don't. But they're already filming, and Monique was seen on a gay pride parade float with the ladies filming already this season. There's been no sightings of Candace on set.
You don't think Candace is coming back?
I don't think so. I don't, and especially not with Monique, who never even apologized 8 years later after you mollywopped her. She still hasn't apologized to this day. I don't like Monique. That's the whole reason I started my YouTube channel, was because I couldn't get anybody to agree with me in the YouTube. They would eat me up like I was fucking chocolate pudding. They would eat me up in the YouTube streets because I was on Candace's side. I didn't think she deserved that, But,
I was just gonna say I've always been on Candace's team, and I will be something what it is. And I definitely believe Monique was wrong 1,000%. I'm not giving. I'm not. That has nothing to do with why I like her. I always liked her because, and the same reason I like Candace is because she would really stand up for herself. She would say something back to the Robins and the Giselles of the people that want you to bow down and kiss the ring. That's why I always liked Monique, because she wasn't having it. But
I don't know. I felt like she was misdirected and misguided in that what you love about her, it was used in the wrong people. Like, she might have said something to Giselle, but she fought Candace over what Giselle's hand did and over what Giselle's mouth said about her baby. And then, you know what I mean? So it was just totally misdirected. I like talk her back too. Speak truth to power, but do it in the right instances. Like, Candace did not deserve that at all. And I don't remember her really ever checking Giselle, even when Giselle came over talking about the trainer at her house. I don't remember her getting checked.
I think, but she had already checked. I would say she always, from coming on, said would get them back. But I agree with you. She never took responsibility. I think that the problem with Candace and Monique, this was their problem that they didn't even see. Us, the audience, saw it. If you're going to say that you were objective,
yeah,
what we saw from, or I'll just give you my objective opinion, was that both of them were being played by Giselle. and they didn't realize it. For separate, like Giselle's over here talking to Candace about Monique. Giselle's over here talking to Monique about Candace. The only thing that I would say worked really well was Monique really believed what Giselle was saying. And Giselle already told her when she brought them on that trip, I think to Portugal or somewhere, she had already said, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you back. Just understand.
Yeah.
And that was weird to me because it was kind of like, y'all don't see the setup here. Like that part I never understood because Candace didn't realize she was being used. And Monique didn't realize until it was too late that she was being used. So they both were kind of at each other. But I feel like Candace never saw the whole fight coming. I feel like Candace felt like we are protected in this little bubble. We are not on Bad Girls Club or on BET something or MTV something. And that this is Potomac. We're not going to have that behavior.
Yeah, that's what I and she should have wholeheartedly had been rest assured in that belief and secure in that knowledge, because there's no place in these contracts for housewives that it says scrap now. There's not a place for them.
Right. And I feel like because of what happened, they should have fired Monique. That's just how I feel. I feel like there should be there should be no violence, period, point blank. It should never be. Same thing I felt about Portia Williams. And they go for Portia. Portia had like 5 fights on Housewives, and they still keep getting her check. So I don't think so. Like to your point about things being like them awarding bad behavior, it's 100%. Because Portia she would have pulled all of Kenya's wig off if she could have, but somebody sewed it all the way down, so she didn't have that problem. Kenya got right on up, and it was all good. But I really do hope that Candace is signed on for my own selfish reasons, not because I think it's good for her.
Like no, I mean, hey, I would love to see her back on the screen. I just don't think they deserve it. Like I think she's right suited for At Home with the Bassettes or something like that. Like and just do her and Chris and her mom, Miss Dorothy, and her sister and the dog. And I mean, I don't need her to interact. I don't need her to interact with bitches that hate her for a check. Like that's not conducive. All money ain't good money. By the way, on the fact that Bravo is entertaining the baddies again and is in people that have done either bad things or a bad press run, Vicky Gunvalson hasn't shut up about them. And Monique, she claimed that Bravo prevented her from doing interviews. And she said that she was treated less than a human. She said she was blacklisted and that they tried to control the narrative. They is in the production in Bravo. She said that the franchise was toxic and that it was that she would not be participating in anything else Bravo because of the toxicity at Bravo. And she said all of this. And then when she got her request to come back for that season 6 after she left in season 5, they sent a contract to her. They were going to let her come back. She quit of her own accord and publicly proclaimed very famously that she declined the shit out of that contract because of the toxic experience. So it's really interesting again that here we're going to have a person who doesn't keep their hands to themselves, chase the woman around the barn, threaten the pregnant lady, all this stuff, talk bad about the network, went on a press tour, talk bad about the network. She had a lot to say about Bravo when she was over at Carlos's house. And now here she comes back with open arms. And I'm just like, where's Nene? Where's Nene? Where's Nene?
But see, at this point, I don't think, okay, so let me just say this. I would love for Nene to come back, but I really do feel like in this last season, I don't need any of the old people back. I felt like, even though it's getting poor reviews and poor, like, whatever it is, to ratings, this to me was one of the best seasons of Bravo. I mean, of Real Housewives of Atlanta, meaning a new batch of people could sustain it on their own. Because I love Kelly. Who is it? Who else is on there that I don't? I love Kelly. I
like Angela.
Angela, I like her. I just can't understand what's going on with her husband because he doesn't seem like he likes her.
Oh no, she's coming out about him.
Oh, is she? Oh. And then I'm trying to think of the rest of the people that's on there that I can't think of right now. They all come in. I'm drawing a blank. But at any rate,
We're eating.
Brit Edie, people don't want Brit on there, but I think Brit belongs. And I think that because Brit's going to annoy people, they don't understand if we take away the people
But
who
she's
are.
already gotten fired. She's fired.
And she's suing them. I know, but what I'm saying is people never want to give people, some people don't want to give them.
Why do you think she's fired? Who said she was fired?
Well, I think she quit.
Well,
I think she quit.
Well, she
there's
quit.
a lot of rumors.
She,
There's a lot of rumors going around, just like her whole season started with rumors. I would just love to know where the information is coming from. Like, what's the source?
Oh, well, my source is these YouTube streets, which is probably rumors. Thank you, Larger
No, I just didn't know if
which
something
is
came out.
probably rumors. But I, to be honest, I cannot see them bringing her back after she just decided not to just. I mean, that's like no
You talking
problem.
about Brit?
Go to your job for the reunion. Brit.
But there's a lady at
Brit's
the
not gonna-
reunion that Brit skipped who got second chair, who just skipped a reunion. So a precedent has been set. You don't have to show up to a reunion if you don't feel like it, and you can bad talk the last show you were on and get invited to another show on Bravo. Fraudra, Faye.
Oh
The
yeah,
Titanic,
Phaedra.
the Titanic
Not
anchor.
only yeah, Phaedra, and then went back to the show. She back. You damn sure right.
Yep.
So I believe a precedent has been set. A precedent, in layman's terms, mean that if you did that shit before, you can do that shit again. So
Period.
the precedent has been set that you don't have to show up to a reunion, and you will still have a great relationship with Bravo and get second chair and have the red carpet rolled out for you on every occasion.
There was a Bravo show and a Bravo show. I never.
And so my thing is Phaedra must know
Phaedra
where
was fired before as well.
Phaedra must know where all of the bodies are buried. She has to. Because there is no reason they should have brought her and put her on Married to Medicine. Although I loved her on Married to Medicine. I never liked her on The Real Housewives because she was just Phaedra. She was so
didn't like her on Married to Medicine.
You know, a lot of people. But the reason I liked her on Married to Medicine is not because she was married to medicine. It was because all the fakeness she had on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, like started out whatever season she started, where I'm 5 months pregnant and they gonna let the baby come, the baby full term, that kind of stuff. And then what she did, she just always wanted to be this Miss Southern, actually, have some sort of relationship with God, like holier than thou. She always wanted to do that. And like, girl, you're a whole ass lawyer, and no shade to the lawyers, shout out to the lawyers, but we understand they don't, a lot of times they have to lie for their clients. It just is what it is, or act like they don't know certain information. It just is what it is. Then you married a whole criminal, and shout out to some of those people, didn't do it, whatever the case may be. I understood why he was I liked Apollo, he's sexy to me, but anyway, your whole fake life. And so she always, I feel like, had to be like, kind of like, I can't really say what I want because my good name type of thing. And I want everybody to think I'm this Southern belle and I make, food from scratch. And it was just kind of like, girl, nobody believes you. But on Married to Medicine, because she didn't have Apollo and all that holding her back, I felt like she was like a fresh bit there because I couldn't stand her on Housewives. Oh, I was just like so annoyed. But I thought she was good on Married to Medicine, but I don't know how she then parlayed the Real Housewives to the Married to Medicine and then now back on Housewives. Like, that's a trip to me. I have to, only way I can see it is she has something on Andy. She has to. Because what's her name? Is it Mariah? Because how they did Mariah.
Right.
Savage. And she still ain't been back. So there's that.
Did you see Sweet Tea? Sweet Tea, Sweet and Sour was in RHOA.
I love me some Sweet Tea, but I hope listen.
I'm a sour bitch. Sweet Tea is a sour bitch.
Knock it off.
She is. She's a sweet and sour bitch.
Treated that lady. How would you feel? You done came on this show.
No, because it was times she was just sour, like Quad had her fucked up moments, but it was never, I felt like, towards her initially.
No,
Right.
It was, of course, an awkward fucking situation having, you know what I mean?
It's
For
the
both of
most
them, for all
situation.
three of them. But then, like, Sweet Tea, like, I just felt like she not mature enough for the group.
I
But
cannot.
eventually, the drama with her, it grew on me. Like, okay, Sweet Tea finna say something. Like Sweet Tea, how she called Jackie a bitch. Like, she just reminded me of a little girl, just as Jackie addressed her. Like, it's okay. I'll deal with baby girl later. Like, it was so condescending. And then when she apologized to Jackie, Jackie was like, well, apologies are for self.
That's Jackie. That's Jackie. And Jackie is as far as Jackie is concerned, she holier than thou. She's sitting up on her high horse, and let Jackie sit on her high horse. I already told y'all about my thing with Jackie, talking about black women, and y'all need to not pretend that you sick and all of that kind of stuff. You know, I've been on my health journey, and I don't have no understanding for that bullshit at all, like zero. But I will say this about Sweet Tea. I feel like what you said, Carmen, about her, she did come into I would say, she was dropped into a whole ass situation and wasn't
I feel like
ready.
her man didn't have her back the way he should have.
Right. But he's a whole asshole. So he's a whole
Okay,
nother.
real quick on that. Again, bravo. Knew Dr. G had strangled and tried to suffocate Quad from that one-on-one interview, and they still had him back on their fucking screens.
Facts. So I agree. And that's when I lost all respect for that man. And that's why I say sometimes you never know who somebody is, because you couldn't have sold me that this man was abusive or anything like that, allegedly. With Quad, when they did that one-on-one and she said, you slammed me to the ground and he didn't do that. I was like, oh, so I lost all respect then. But it was a good mix, even though it's bad to bring him and his new wife on there.
Right.
It was just, to me, it was going to draw eyeballs, and that's all they really care about, in my opinion. But I'm team Sweet Tea, and here's why. I feel like she was dropped into a situation that she wasn't ready for. The rest of these people, at the end of the day, they're seasoned. They understand how this machine works. They understand their positions at the zoo. She did not. She is, yes, she's younger, and yes, she needed to mature some, but I feel like if you drop anybody in that situation, it's really flight or fight. Like, and I feel like that lady wasn't going to leave because she had signed on the dotted line. And so she had to fight. And it was an unfair fight. She was outnumbered, in my opinion. And then you have Dr. Heavenly, who don't give a damn about anybody's feelings except.
That's my favorite. I love her. Heavenly is my favorite.
I already know that's Larger Curve's favorite too.
For real? That's my girl.
Yeah. She's actually had Dr. Heavenly on one of her YouTube lives. So yeah, she's well connected. But yes, so I can't with Dr. Heavenly. But here's the thing. Dr. Heavenly understands her role. She understands that her role is to stir shit up and be the villain. But the villain that you kind of still love anyway. Like, but I feel like
no choice but to love Heavenly.
No, I don't love
Heavenly. Look, what about how Toya called?
Hold on, pause. Before we get to Toya, let me finish my statement about Dr. Heavenly, and then you can tell me. Get your thought. But Dr. Heavenly does things intentionally that are too far. And they always go through this, okay, we're going to try to show you who you are, Dr. Heavenly. We're going to forgive you for what you're doing. And then she gets right back into your good graces. They allow that every season on Married to Medicine. Every single season, they let her go below the belt. And then she apologizes, and then she does the next season. And so what she did with Sweet Tea, the reason that real reason that I really can't stand her, and she's done a lot of shit, is like, just don't go at someone's motherhood, because your journey, you have your kids, and thank God that you had all your healthy kids. Sweet Tea, yes, she was in his DMs, but she did get married to the man, and she is trying to have a baby. And the fact that you are a doctor and you know about her struggles with pregnancy or trying to get pregnant, that's, to me, one of those situations where it's savage and it's below the belt.
What did she do?
She constantly talked about this lady's infertility. She said, I think Sweet Tea got on a live and was like, She said something really egregious about Dr. Heavenly's mom being in hell or something like that, which again is way below the belt, and it's uncalled for. And I'm never gonna.
Then, hey, your fertility is nothing if you're comfortable
Well,
talking
you know,
about my deceased mom.
before you go down that route, she was already in. I think this was Sweet Tea's second season on the show, so she'd been taking Dr. Heavenly's fiery darts for a whole last season, and then another season, and then that's when she said about the mama thing or whatever. Which, like I said, I'm not gonna say anything is right about that. I'm just saying if someone is beating you with a bat, and you're not competition. She is slicing and dicing this girl up, and I know Miss Larger Curves can't wait to get in. But I'm saying these are the reasons that what I'm saying. The reason that to me is I'm not going to say it's equal, but if you are struggling with your ability to have a baby, and this is really what you want for your life, and you have fibroids or you have endometriosis and all of these things, and this person knows it. It wouldn't matter, in my opinion, that this lady said something about her mom, because Dr. Heavenly was already saying shit about this girl's infertility for a year.
I think she knew that though before she got with that man.
Well, I don't see. We can't do that. I don't want to do that on this show. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all, because with endometriosis, even your doctor can't confirm it until you have the surgery. It just is what it is. So there is no sense of where you could say, well, I think she may have known that. They could guess. They could say, well, based on your symptoms, we think you have endometriosis. But until they cut your body open, they're not going to know. It just is what it is. So when people say that, I just feel like you don't know what someone's journey is. So just leave that alone. She could have had and never said 4 miscarriages. How would we know? A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't share. That's why they always tell you wait like a certain amount of time before you say you pregnant, because that happens a lot. So I just feel like let me live. She did not want to, because Dr. Heavenly doesn't give a shit. She gonna say this is what Dr. Heavenly gonna do. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna take it back. Dr. Heavenly, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna take it back. And I wouldn't mind what Dr. Heavenly says if it wasn't so below the belt. Kind of like Dr. and don't forget your thought, Carmen. Dr. Oh God, what's her Simone? That season at the reunion where Quad's niece, I believe, drowned in the pool or something like that.
Her nephew.
Or was it her niece or her nephew? It was someone insignificant. It was her loved one. And you talked about that at the reunion to try to like say whatever it was. That's too far. That's too far. And for me, you could say you sorry. We never gonna be friends. Not ever. Not on this show, not off of the show. It's just certain things when you cross a certain barrier, ain't no coming back from that. That don't mean I won't forgive you, but I can't have you in my life like that. So Dr. Heavenly understands her job on the show, which is to ruffle feathers and go too far. And they all have a position to play. But I do feel like Sweet Tea was always responding to what they were doing to her. I feel like she was always responding. And then Dr. Heavenly, once she kind of takes you under her wing, kind of, I feel like is what she did with Sweet Tea on some level. Because she was just like, look, I'm going to get y'all some money. Come on, be on this show. She told Quad that. She told Quad's boyfriend that. I'm sure, and this is all alleged, I'm sure she told Sweet Tea and Dr. whatever his name is, let's go get this bag. And so I feel like you signed up for this. Yes, you're not going to know everything. So we can't put you in your own little safety pod. But she was like a baby dolphin in a shark tank. Like, that's how I feel about it. And she got ate up and she wasn't ready. Okay, Carmen, go ahead and what you're going to say. And then Larger Curves can chime in. Unless Carmen went away. Did you go?
Oh. Larger Curves can go. I kind of forgot.
Oh, because you were telling me something about Toya. Okay, go ahead, Larger Curve.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Dr. Jackie, I think she's the centerpiece for them, if that makes sense. But her clap,
like Dr. Jackie, and I can't.
Her jabs are her like you gonna feel her shit.
Yep.
Like Toya called her boring, right? And so Dr. Jackie go, and some of us just don't have no substance. Like
right. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
And Toya low-key felt that shit. Like you made it a joke, and Dr. Jackie made her joke. So like it was no, you know what I mean? So like with Sweet Tea, and Heavenly going back and forth. Like you said, Heavenly go too far, but Heavenly too far is always your mama. Like to this day, at 30, I'm gonna be 34. I still say your mama. Like
yeah, you want to fight?
Or if somebody threaten me, if you say I'm gonna slap shit, so bitch, if you don't slap me, it ain't a woman in your family, bitch.
Ooh. Wait, hold please.
You know what I mean? It's just like, what is your clapback? Like that's my like Heavenly. It's me. Like your mama. I'm gonna go to you want to argue? Okay, your mama.
Well, because she knows when you bring somebody's mama into it, people are gonna go all the way in. But I don't understand why they still do that.
That people used to do when they was kids that stuck with certain people, and it's very rare. So when I seen that was her run-to response, like I said unconsciously, like your mama. I tell my little sisters, your mama. Your mama. And we got the same mama, like your mama.
Right. Yeah,
so
I agree.
That's not enough for me, because Heavenly has been Heavenly consistently since day one. Her jabs is her jabs.
And you know what?
The way she go off is the way, like she's never been Jackie. She's never been Simone. She's always been Heavenly.
Yeah. But you know what? This is the thing with Jackie too.
I respect it and I love it because it's real to me. You know she gonna protect Daddy. You know she gonna protect Daddy. Okay, so Contessa, you can go sit your 6-head ass down and Mimi, what's her name? Sweet Tea too. Sour Tea, go sit your ass down. Because one thing we know, if we don't know shit else, Heavenly ain't never opened her motherfucking mouth to tell you her husband cheated on her. Bitch, bye.
It might have happened though. I think
he's never gonna do no shit like that, even if he cheated 50 times.
You're right. You're right. Look, let me just say this one thing about Dr. Jackie. The thing is, Dr. Jackie, in my opinion, is worse almost than Heavenly. Because I remember the first season Heavenly was on there that they showed us. Dr. Jackie was going around at that party they was at talking about, well, she said it to her. She was just kind of like, you're not a doctor. So if I need an abscess looked at, I'll call you. And I'm like, get a whole doctor. What are you talking about? Like,
I feel like that's why
says she's a damn whole ass doctor. What you mean? Like, it's just like that's so, but that's Dr. What's her name? Dr. Jackie.
Heavenly,
that's her
Heavenly look at Jackie as like an elder, her friend, but in an elderly way.
Like, I don't know what happened, because it is the most mismatched relationship I've ever seen. Because what Dr. Jackie gives to me is elegance, top shelf. I'm important. I'm educated, and one of those people that you listen to her because she doesn't talk loud and she doesn't talk a lot. That is my opinion of her, but I do think she's fake and phony and everything else. How she ended up in a bestie relationship with one of those people who is one of the loudest, don't say anything out her mouth. You can't control her. She the friend that you got to explain before you get to the party or the cookout. Dr. Heavenly, I don't know how they got that mixed up. And
everybody needs a weapon, and that's because Dr. Jackie got it in her too.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by the fake and phony. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's fake.
I don't think it's fake for her to maintain composure on a global platform where she'll be judged for anything she does.
I think she's she has like it's
careful.
part of her tenacity, like to always be thinking ahead. You know what I mean? Like she's not quick in responding. I mean, quick in reaction. She responds versus react. Heavenly gonna react.
Correct. But I think the reason that I say Dr. Jackie is fake is because I do think she has an elegance to her. I do think she's educated, and she's somebody I would trust in the medical field, generally speaking. But the fake part is to me, she's not going to say what she's really thinking. Really, whatever she does, in my opinion, she's very methodical about it. She's just like, I'm going to think about what I'm saying. And that's the fake and phony part. Whereas you have someone like a Sweet Tea, she's not going to think really that much about what she's saying before she says it. Dr. Heavily, you're not gonna think much about what she's saying before she says it. And to me, that's way more authentic and way more real than Dr. Dr.
That's
Jack.
the one you don't like.
I guess it would just be the type of person, because it takes some kind to make the world go round. So I hear what you're saying, and that is a good comparison. However, I have people in my own life who are very thoughtful. They don't say not one word passes their lips unless they've thought about it first. It's not going to happen. I don't care if they're getting cussed out, yelled at, in a hurry, rushed. They're not going to say anything they haven't thought about first. They're that conscious of what they say. And they take the time. It's really awkward sometimes because people don't
It's
take the
very
time to take a thought before responding. It's not usual. So when this person does it, it's
That would
like
be
glaring to the point where you're like, oh my God, can you answer already? You know? And the person's literally like, well, I'm thinking about my answer. I don't want to just say anything because you want me to respond. So there, I
my
respect
brother-in-law.
anybody, right? And my mom personally. So anybody that has that mental strength, that's a person that's a very wise person, because all of us popping off and they can't control it, that's actually a liability. And so I respect Jackie being able to maintain her brand and her composure. We've yet to see her mass slip. We haven't had a slip because she's so thoughtful about her, what she says. I don't think we've had a slip. And
You
as
know,
far as power,
I thought she was gonna go off the night Contessa and Contessa and Heavenly got into it
Heavenly,
on the beach,
yeah,
on the sand that night. And you know, when she faked her injury, I thought that was
yeah,
so. I
yeah.
thought that night because she was like, "Stop it!"
What?
She just goes, stop.
You mean Jackie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she got
yeah,
upset and she was like, "Stop! Enough! Stop
I
it!"
don't think I even watched the whole season, so I missed
And
yeah.
that.
and
So
that was the night I thought we were gonna get like, I'm sick of this shit. I'm
Right.
tired of this shit. You bitches, because one thing I know,
Never
or two things
good.
for sure, a person who does not play with the word bitch don't play with the word bitch, right?
Mhm.
Simone and Heavenly say bitch with Jackie, but on camera, Jackie never says bitch to them.
right,
Nope.
But we know it happens off camera.
Yeah.
right. Because she's able to maintain that
Right. And that's just an
persona.
example of what I'm saying. Like you put it in words. You put what I was trying to say into words, her brands while it's
Mhm.
on camera. But
Yeah.
Heavenly is like, a bitch gonna get their teeth clean, whether I'm savage or not. Bitch, you coming to get them teeth together. You okay?
And her business has increased with
And you
her
gonna
keeping it
come, you
that
gonna
real.
laugh, you gonna walk out with some clean teeth, they gonna be pretty.
I'm not playing with you on this end.
You're gonna be able to go
My
talk
thought,
some shit. You're gonna be able to go talk some shit too with your teeth showing.
right?
You silly.
I love her. I love her. My thoughts on sweet tea, sweet and sour tea, bitter root,
Yeah.
um,
I'm not playing with y'all.
is, and but she should have been playing with the people. She should have played nice and been grateful. And those were the two things that she was lacking horribly. She got in those people's sandbox and acted like it was her sand, her toys, and her location when she was a guest in a box.
Oh,
Okay. And
damn.
then she's going to act like not only is she the HBIC in a box you got invited to, but then you're going to cry every time you throw sand and some gets back in your eye. Really?
Yep.
Really?
Mhm.
So it's like you act like you want to play with the big dogs, and she would even her lip.
Acting like Bentley, can't even bark.
And she was always doing something, but it was never enough. But she wanted to look like she was doing something. But then when they really did something, then now it's a problem. But your entire ass was just out. We just saw left cheek, right cheek, but now it's a problem when I respond on that. They're on Instagram Live. I have the entire live up on my YouTube channel. If you ever want to go back and verify what I'm about to tell you, they're on an Instagram Live. They were reviewing the show when Phaedra used to host them on Instagram Live. Phaedra was on there, Sweet and Sour, the dentist with the chiclets who everybody's husband, they said her husband was gay, remember? That one. That's why the husband's been leaving. I don't think it has anything to do with how the ladies treat him. I think they don't feel like answering. I feel like they don't feel like answering anything about their husbands when it comes up. That's what I'm really thinking, because so far a lot of the one Alicia, Dr. Alicia, her husband. Remember the rumors was going around about the husband.
She was really from LA or something.
Whatever she was, she didn't come back. She didn't come back, but she was hanging with Sweet Tea, and they were on the live.
Yeah.
And Toya was on the live. So they were waiting for Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly finally comes on, and Sweet Tea immediately. Dr. Heavenly says hi, and Sweet Tea's like, "Grandma, Grandma, your grandma," and she was like, she was basically like, "I heard you bitches looking for me, huh?"
That's her only play, though. She doesn't have anything other than.
But that's not my fault. That's not. But that's why are you making excuses? Why are you making excuses for her?
You don't want to. Okay, so if you know you don't want to play with Heavenly, why do you insist on trying to?
Oh, please. No, I agree that I am, but I'm just saying it as a factual. It's more of a factual thing than it is. Okay, I'm just saying they have more intelligence. Well, they have more bullets they could throw at her, in my opinion, than she has. The only thing she really has is y'all old. And so that's really all she can ever say, in my opinion. So that's the only thing she has.
She said it again. And then Dr. Heavenly was like, whatever, go on with that. And she was like, your mama's, she said, your mama's something about her dead mother. And she's like, my mama's dead, bitch. And Sweet Tea still didn't care. And so Dr. Heavenly said, my mom has a better chance in hell. No, she said, your mom is in hell. She said, my mom is dead and it has a better chance in hell of having a baby.
Right.
Oh, my mom in hell has a better chance of having a baby than you do.
Yeah. Right. That's what she said. After she said her dead mother was in jail, but then this is the same people that tried to make it an issue that Dr. Heavenly allegedly said, fuck your dead mother to Contessa, but this lady can go on places and say, your dead mother's in hell. So I'm not seeing what the difference is, except for you want there to be a difference.
That was wrong, though.
Exactly. And she didn't say fuck your dead mom to Contessa. This is what happened with Contessa.
It doesn't matter.
This was so no. Listen, I'm about to tell you the very big difference, though. The very big difference is what matters. So Heavenly was being heavenly and said your mama to Contessa. And Contessa said, my mom who died in 2010 from breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And Heavenly just repeated, yeah, your mama. And so
doesn't matter.
Contessa said, scribe hoe. Okay. Pause.
She did. Yeah. So again, and then that was also looked at, Carmen, as something fantastic, that now you don't have enough words to use in a Rolodex of a mind of a doctor, that you want to chase another doctor around and go fisticuffs, is some really lowbrow, low vibrational shit. But everybody praises Contessa and is mad that Dr. Heavenly knows how to use her words. Continue.
But you know why everybody's
listen. And then when Contessa said square hole, Heavenly said, somebody get this bitch.
I'm not playing with her. I'm not playing with her. I'm not playing with you on the show.
So I'm wondering, for you, Chanel, why are you so willing? I mean, she's grown. She puts it out like she's grown. She tells the other lady, she tells these seasoned doctors that they're on the show because they need the money. She attacks their businesses. She attacks their marriages. She attacks their families unprovoked. So it's not like you just dropped into a thing like this is her just talking shit on a regular basis. And when anybody says anything back, she's a victim. It's worse than Ken Moore over on freaking Real Housewives of Atlanta, professional villain victim shit. Pick a lane. You can't be both. You literally can't be both. And so for her to act like and talk all this big game, like she can walk with the big dogs, and me and my husband got it, and we need this Mini Cooper, and our house ain't paid off, but you guys need this job, and da 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 da. And she just doesn't care. And then she brought it on herself when she had her husband have to get into it. When Dr. Heavenly hashtagged the P thing about the man, and look, you notice he didn't send her a cease and desist, a slander, or nothing. He didn't say shit. So I don't know what Dr. Heavenly knows that he let that just linger in cyberspace without a response. That's interesting.
Another
Tracy has
That's
situation.
little dick.
suspicious.
Another situation where I don't know if it's true or not, right? Allegedly, where if it isn't true, you've gone too far, sis. You've gone way too far.
Well, she
You
said it was a
cannot,
mistake. It was 3 o'clock.
but it doesn't matter. You can't have that type of mistake. You can't.
See,
It's
but
like,
see, you're biased. I claim, I know I'm biased, but you're a little biased right now because you make excuse after excuse for sweet and sour. And Dr. Heavenly literally admits to what she did and says, I made a mistake, stands in it, and it's like, oh, still, it's just interesting.
let me be very clear. I do think what Sweet Tea said, especially about the mama, to Heavenly, is not is not a situation that I would ever condone in any way. It was horrible. She shouldn't have said it. Pure point blank. I think her light weight shade of the old, you're old and y'all are old. I think it's like, girl, it's been done before. It's not anything heavy, I guess, unless you're mad that you're getting old, I guess. But I will say this. I just do think that I have to give Dr. Heavenly more slaps because one, Dr. Heavenly could take it. We all know she can. She doesn't give a shit. And then number two, Dr. Heavenly, oh, I was gonna say this, Sweet Tea. They've been these sharks. They've been in this ocean. This girl, when she came on the scene, she, in my opinion, I don't think she was ready. I don't think she really knew what was going on because these women have been on this show for what, I don't know, is it like 8 or 9, maybe 10 seasons at this point? And they know what the public savage that can happen. She didn't. They've been doing this shit for years. So you got all of these people from across the world attacking you. And you just, like I said, you're a baby dolphin. I'm not giving her an excuse. I'm just saying if she had started when they started, then we probably would see a different Sweet Tea. That's my opinion. I do
They
think
just bombed Iran. They just bombed Iran. It just came across. The U.S. has just bombed Iran. The U.S. has just bombed Iran.
What?
U.S. B-2 bombers. They struck the nuclear sites. And Trump, everybody, 34 count 45. I'm not giving him his new number because I don't think he really earned that shit. But 34 count 45 is up on the nuclear airplane that stays safe. Then it's off the ground. It's basically the White House in the sky so that he can be off the ground if there's a nuclear attack on American soil. So he's in that right now. He just got in there 8 minutes ago, and they bombed it 40 minutes ago or an hour ago. Yep.
It does say lava base U.S. enters war with Iran, bombing key nuclear sites. What the is going on?
It struck 3 sites.
Yeah, 3 key nuclear sites.
What is happening?
U.S. joins Israel's attack on Iran. And you know, the last time we went to Desert Storm and Desert Shield, it was also because of that Nettie guy. Because of Nettie, he convinced the Bushes that Iran specifically and Iraq had weapons of mass destruction when they didn't. And he was like, oh, yeah, they do. And he got all our sons killed, all our daughters killed. And it was a lie. And he's using our bodies to fight his genocide. And it's disgusting. I don't know who voted for 45, but you should be sick with yourself right now because the people tried to tell you. Now, I wasn't all for Kamala, but I wasn't for this. I was for democracy, which I didn't feel like happened. But look, y'all voted for this. Your cousins are getting taken away. The people are getting shipped. And now we're in World War III within 6 fucking months, almost to the day. He got inaugurated on January 20th. It's June 21st, you guys, and he got us in fucking World War III. It's disgusting.
Oh,
it said all planes are now outside of Iran's airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All
So
planes
it
are
says,
safely on their way home.
live updates. U.S. enters war with Iran, bombing key nuclear sites. President Trump announced the United States has struck Fordo, Iran's heavily fortified nuclear facilities, as well as two other sites. Hold on, because I don't know if this is moving along. Okay, it is.
Excuse me.
This is the New York Times that's reporting what I'm looking at. It says the United. Okay, I just read that. American warplanes dropped bombs on 3 nuclear sites in Iran. President Trump announced on Saturday night bringing the U.S. military directly into the war after days of uncertainty about whether he would intervene. This is craziness. 2 minutes ago, it says Trump announces he will give an address to the nation at 10 p.m. from the White House. Wow. Some members of the Congress criticized the Trump administration for not seeking congressional approval before the U.S. troops engaged in attacks against Iran. But that man thinks he can do whatever he wants. He doesn't need but anyway, let me just finish reading this. It says, this is not constitutional, said Representative Thomas Massey, Republican of Kentucky, who co-sponsored a resolution attempted to block any military action in Iran without Congress authorizing it. See, that's a problem. And it says right in response to Trump's statement, Representative Jim Himes, I guess is how you pronounce it, a Democrat from Connecticut on the Intelligence Committee, said, according to the Constitution, we're both sworn to defend. And it says, my attention to this matter comes before, in all caps, bomb falls. Stop. Damn. I'm sorry. What were you guys going to say?
Trump said this is a historic moment for the United States of America,
of course
Israel, and the rest of the world. He said Iran must now agree to end this war. Thank you. All caps, exclamation mark.
I can't. Thank you, Larger Curves, for letting us know, because I would have been in my little bubble over here still talking about the real.
Yeah, because I was going to go outside to smoke a cigarette, but I'm going to smoke in the house now.
She's not. She's just saying that. No, this is crazy. Ugh.
Oh,
how does Congress even respond to this bullshit? Because they don't have anything. Because at the end of the day, the president does have really full control of the military. That's really all he really has control over, in my opinion. There's other branches of government that need to be talked about before you just, oh my God, decide to just go. How do you just decide to go to war without our country giving you the A-OK? Like, I just don't even understand. But you're a narcissist, so. What do you have to say, Miss Larger Curves? Because I'm sure you have something to say. You're on mute. You're on mute. Okay.
There we go. So the U.S. constitutional authority and procedures to use military force. Congress is the only place where war can get decided. It hasn't happened under Article 1, Section 8 since 1942. I wonder if that's where Section 8 housing came from. Anyway, Congress passes the authorization for use of military force, and it requires votes from both sides of the House and Senate and a president's signature. Permits to the war, the president can deploy forces for up to 60 days plus 30 days if an attack happens without congressional approval, but no attack has happened to us. So he's putting us in over there with them, and that's not cool. Any deployment beyond that needs to have the Congress do the AUMF authorization for use of military force. Now, if there's an emergency or self-defense authority by Article 2, the president can respond to sudden attacks on the U.S. or its forces, and some officials argue that this can include strikes abroad. Now, did Trump follow these rules? No, not at all. There was no AMFU, there was no declaration, there's no indication that Congress has done any formal declaration. The War of the Powers of Resolution notification, it appears Trump did not rely on any emergency attack following an actual Iran strike against the US. So there's no notification from Congress under the powers of war. For a historical context, past presidents, including Trump in 2017 versus Syria, have undertaken similar strikes without congressional approval, citing national security pejoratives. Now, this also triggered a legal debate back then when he was president before he tried to do World War III on our asses before and got sued for it. Now, sources say that Trump has approved a military attack and possibly is targeting nuclear sites. Now, Trump did not follow the standard constitutional legislative process, just like he hasn't since he got in there, ever since he's gotten in office, because all the people who like to vote for people like that voted for him. They decided they wanted him there. He didn't. They were like, oh, he's going to uphold the Constitution. He's about law. And he's broken every law and violated the Constitution consistently since he's taken office. But hey, y'all voted for it. So it's so interesting that they're going to want my son to go fight this shit, but they voted for it. So I think a new fucking rule should be you vote, you go, bitch. How about that? Yeah, I'm gonna get shirts made that said "You vote, you go, bitch." That's the new rule.
I'll buy one for sure. So I went to the whitehouse.gov and this is what it says. Live news, Saturday, June 21st, 2025. Stay tuned. We'll be live shortly.
That's because he's up in the air and they have to get the freaking internet right on his nuclear plane while he leaves all of us here to suffer in the shit that he starts.
It's so sad.
Wow. He straight left us. Look, he is in a fucking nuclear proof plane.
Right.
And he told us to fucking stay tuned, y'all.
Right. Sure. I can't take it. It's always something. I just had to get on the phone and call my husband, even though he's in the theater room, and be like, yeah, we're in a war. He's like, yeah, they said something about Trump is going to do something. I'm like, no. We're in an actual war. Like, this shit is craziness. This shit is crazy. I can't even wrap my brain around how do you think that you have what do they say about power? Power will corrupt, but absolute power corrupts absolutely, something like that. Like, this man literally thinks he has absolute power. When you can go and decide to do an act of war without congressional oversight at all, without the people, right. We the people, it's supposed to be we the people, of the people, by the people. Okay, that's what the government's supposed to be. Like, what are you doing? This is so irritating.
He's doing what they do. He's whitewashing history and making wars. That's what they fucking do.
Oh, I can't. I
mean, it's really time. In the meantime, we just need to be living our best life, loving who we love, apologizing, forgiving, give right.
Do you know how sky high shit is about to get now? It was already high. Now that we entering into a damn war, everything is going to be so fucking expensive. I already see it coming. It's about to be craziness because people are going to be panicked. We're supposed to know about it. Like, what are you doing? I'm sorry. I should probably not be
the same thing he's doing.
It's stressing me the fuck out.
He's a freaking idiot. I don't know who would have even voted for that shit.
I don't either because I can't.
And now he's literally and now he's also trying to put that Project 2025 guy in charge of everything that Elon used to do or some shit like that.
Yeah.
The guy that wrote Project 2025.
Yeah. But thank you so much for tuning us in to it because this is why, and this is so serious, but this is the reason why I stay in my bubble. Because this bullshit, I just don't have time for it. I just, and now I don't have to, I can't, with something like this, I can't put my head in the sand. Like with all the other stuff dealing with that idiot, for the most part, I'm just like, whatever. But now I can't do that. I have to be diligent and active and oh my God, I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close out this live. You guys have anything else to say? Because like right now,
I'm gonna go hug my babies. That was my son coming in here to tell me this. He's like, Mom, we're at war. So we're gonna go talk. So yeah, I gotta go too. Thanks for having me up. It was nice talking with you, Carmen.
Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you, Larger Curves.
No worries, Chanel. Thanks for having me. Peace.
And thank you so much, Carmen, for participating in my live. Now my brain is all wackadoodle because I can't with this idiot. Anyway, I'm gonna play he ain't gonna get the best of me. Not today. I'm gonna go ahead and play my little I don't know if you noticed my little my intro, but I'm gonna play it again. So thanks so much to everybody for tuning in to another episode of Chanel's Reality. I'm Chanel, and this is my reality.
Welcome to Chanel's Reality. I'm Chanel, and this is my reality.